it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them, this is my shit, I'm a jacket like Letterman, y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling, started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent, this is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit, I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah, said you gon' pull up then settle it, yeah, I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out step in it, yeah, and I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here, watch out touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch, everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now, have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that, big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that, work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that, had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my, yeah. Run it, I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging, ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy, got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that, it's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up, I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come unless you paying attention, so no, I can't miss that. Moving, MVP, I got the record, I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy, they gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming, had to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that, yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground and...
Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Yeah, man, I mean, this is a fitting title for a show because I'm always angry, you always angry, and this angry? Is a podcast. Nigga, you dang. Bro, you angry, bro. You angry. And so am I. Yeah, man. So Jay, we back in the building. Great show last week. I can't necessarily say it was a great week in boxing or a great weekend in boxing, but it was a weekend for sure. And so first of all, yeah, some things happen. So let me start off by giving the people that support the channel some love. Rock Dog Interactive. If you need anything in terms of graphic design, logos, you name it, Rock Dog Interactive, they can do it for you. Anything, tech, websites, you name it, they got it for you. Black Father Figures, that's our guy, League of Legacies, doing some great work over there, man, recognizing black fathers. Black fathers are very important in the lives of our children. And so doing great work there. He has a cruise coming up later on this year. We are definitely going to get the League of Legacy on to talk about that cruise. Hopefully Jason and we may be able to get to the cruise. I don't know yet, but we'll see. And that's it for our sponsors. Of course, we will recognize and acknowledge our sponsors all throughout the show. But Jay, I always like to get right into it. What do we have on the agenda for this week? I'm assuming we're going to start off with Canelo Alvarez. Harrison Brooks, shout out, bro. What's going on with you? Tunnel Vision is in the building. Modern King Boxing, what's going on with you, bro? Thank you for the $2. Greatly appreciate it. What does that say? Already? You know I'm slow. So
which one you talking about?
Modern King Boxing. He
said,
are we ready? Yeah, I think that's what it's saying.
He said, yeah.
Elizabeth Park, what's going on? Bro, let's jump into it, man. Canelo Alvarez, I know you got the opportunity to see the fight. I refused to pay any money to watch that fight. I was not going to do it. Oh, okay. But you saw the fight.
Nah.
So your thoughts, bro. How did it all play out? I mean, I know Canelo Alvarez, I thought he was probably going to knock the guy out. He didn't. I think he won by unanimous decision. Broke the guy's nose. That's all I heard about it. I didn't even see any clips from it. That's how disinterested I was.
So Canelo looked like he looked against Lil G, as I call him. Same thing. He was getting touched up a little bit. Except for this fight here, there's no question, no doubt that Canelo was in control of the fight. But he was getting touched up. Slow foot. Head movement wasn't there like it once was. So, I mean, honestly, I didn't want to see this fight anyway because I thought this was a shit fight. People say, well, Ryder was a Mando. Andrade was a Mando at 154, 160. Charlo was a Mando. Benavidez was a Mando. He took the lesser of the evils and fought this guy here who had already lost to 3 people that Canelo had already beaten. Ryder, I give Ryder credit for being tough. He made it through the fight. You know, I don't know how much is it him making it through the fight or just Canelo carrying the fight, but Canelo looked old. I mean, he has 60 plus fights, man. You know, Father Time's going to catch up with everybody. So I don't think Canelo's going to be fighting one of those young guns unless it's for a major payday. You know, he has no excuse for not fighting a Benavidez, a Charlo, or Andrade at this point in time, or David Morrell. Those should be one of those 4 up top. Now, if this is just his going away party and he's about his retirement fight, hell, go ahead and fight another John Ryder and just say, okay, this is my last fight. I'm out of here. That's cool. But for him to continue, people just give him props for sidestepping certain fighters, I don't like that. This is not saying Canelo was scared. This is called Canelo's team being very business savvy. I mean, he's like I said, he has over 60 plus fights. He's been through some wars early on, but his last 6-7 fights, you can't call those wars. I mean, the European diet that he's been on, he hasn't even fought the best European. I mean, those guys weren't really that tough like that. So that's why I couldn't support it in that aspect. I didn't even watch all of it. Honestly, I started turning to UFC. I started watching that more so than I watched this Canelo fight. So he says he wants Bivol at 175. Bivol said he wants to fight Canelo at 168.
That's my understanding.
Remember we talked about a while ago and I said I want Bivol to fight him at 168 because Bivol said he could make it. Now, right now, Canelo wants him at 175 to keep his titles and keep his legacy kind of safe, so he can use that excuse as, well, I was daring to be great. I went up to 175.
Mm-hmm.
Until Canelo got his ass kicked by Bivol, what were they saying? He might go up to heavyweight. He was trying to go up to cruiserweight, fight a Makabu. Why? Right. Makabu wasn't worth nothing. So now once he gets his ass kicked, Canelo's just trying to be great. He was too small for this guy. Nah, I want him to fight Bivol at 168 so his belts can be on the line. And he wins, he gets credit for it. I don't care if it's at 168, 175. He beats Bivol at 168, he gets all the credit. There's no weight draining because Bivol said he wanted that smoke at 168, not the other way around. So fight him at 168.
Yeah, I mean, you hate Canelo, so I mean,
I don't.
It is. No,
you don't like Canelo. You don't like his movements neither right now, do you? His last 6 fights. You can't say you like that shit.
There's a difference. I don't like his movements. You don't like Canelo.
No, I ain't got nothing personal against Canelo. I don't like his movements.
Yeah, okay. The John Ryder. See, I've had discussions with you in private, so I know how you feel. I'm bringing you to the public. I'm bringing you to the people and letting them know how you feel about Canelo Alvarez.
You're lying to the people, my brother.
You feel like you feel about Canelo Alvarez the same way you feel about Kevin Durant. Say I'm lying.
No,
Say I'm lying.
You're lying. Want me to say it again? You're lying.
Boy. Boy, you ain't shit. Boy, you ain't shit.
But you know this already.
Yeah.
You know this already.
I do.
You know this already.
I do.
But
20
continue,
years.
my man.
20 years. First of all, let me acknowledge Tunnel Vision. He said time for Canelo, Spence, and Crawford to give up the belts. We'll dive into that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see the Ryder fight. I'm cool.
Nobody did.
I agree.
Sorry.
I'm cool. No, you good. You good. I'm cool with seeing the Bivol fight. I think we're going to see the same results if he were to fight Bivol. 68,
Definitely
74. It's going to be the same results. I don't think he can beat Bivol. If he doesn't fight Bivol, I want to see him fight another young gun. Fight Benavidez. Fight Charlo. Fight Morrell. I'm cool with any of those fights. Isn't Morrell gonna be like his Mando for one of those titles? I think he's his Mando for one of those titles, or he's going to be his Mando for one of those titles. Fight Morrell. I'm curious to see him in the ring with anybody other than someone from Europe. That's it. That's all I want to see from Canelo. He's a great fighter. I like Canelo Alvarez. He's a great fighter. He had great defense. I like that tweet that you sent me though, Jay, because that was interesting. And I never thought about it from that perspective. Shout out to Sean Porter for making that observation. But he mentioned that Canelo. So I was looking at the Danny Jacobs fight. This was like a few days ago. And I was noticing some of Canelo's defense. And I mean, I just felt like Canelo's defense looked really good in that fight. Now, some of that's probably attributed to Danny Jacobs. And some of that's just attributed to the skills of Canelo Alvarez. But what Sean Porter mentioned was that Canelo is not very defensive after he throws his offense. And that's a different perspective because really it was Danny Jacobs, I'm sorry, that was actually throwing all of his offense, and it was just Canelo reacting versus Canelo getting his offense off. And then, so what Sean Porter was basically saying is that a counterpuncher is what beats Canelo Alvarez. And I was thinking about like, damn, he might be right because Floyd beat the shit out of him. I mean, he didn't have nothing for Floyd, and he was right. Every time he threw his offense, he had no defense for whatever Floyd was throwing back. None. Yep. So, not to say that Bivol is a counterpuncher, because I don't think he is, but he does have some counterpunching skills. But I just want to see him in the ring with somebody that's going to challenge his ability and his skills. And we have not seen that over the last few fights, man. He's a very talented fighter, man, but put yourself in a position where you're going to be challenged. And I just feel like that's not what he's done. I think Bivol was a cherry gone wrong. He has the skills. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the skill level. He has a skill level. But it's just how he's moved lately. Now, again, I'm questioning how he moved. Jason simply doesn't like him. But it is what it is.
False. Now, let me go ahead
and
kill that narrative. I've always given Canelo his props as far as the type of
fighter
he is, because he does have skills. I never say he never had skills.
You never say that.
His resume. I've always bashed his resume.
I agree. And you hate him as a person. All those can be true. All that can be true.
I don't know, bro. I don't know him, and I don't. It's not the fact I don't.
You don't know KD. You don't know KD, but you hate KD.
I hate the way KD moves in and off the court. I hate the way he moves off the court.
You hate KD.
We know this, but this is a boxing show. We ain't talking about basketball, man.
I'm just using it as an example, bro. I just don't like when you come on to the people and you try to. Let's keep it
to the chat, man. He's been angry all day, so he's trying to throw. I'm collateral damage right now because you can't take shots at y'all. But when we had a comment feature, y'all be careful because he's angry today.
I'm not gonna lie. I've had a bad day. That's the truth. But that don't negate what I'm saying. You
if it's false, it is.
You an asshole. You don't like him. That's who you are.
Facts. That's facts. I'm an asshole. I admit that.
Okay, then. That's all the people want to know. And you don't like Canelo Alvarez. You don't like Canelo. You don't like Lomachenko. You don't like Canelo. You don't like Lomachenko. We all know why. Just say the shit, man. Stop hiding. Stop hiding.
Why? Go ahead, Greg. You tell me why I hate him.
No, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. That's too controversial. All right. Anyway, we got 83 people in the building. We got 38 likes, man. If you get the opportunity, please hit the like button or hit the dislike button if you don't like the content, but make sure that you are engaging. Also, we have a subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit that. Become a part of the family if you're not already a part of the family. Also, look at that left bottom right-hand corner. You see a $ AM Sports Media. I finally got us a Cash App. Jason was never going to do it, and of course, I have to step in when he falls short. So, what? Is it not true? Is it not true?
Bro, you have a bad day. The bashing, man. Hot damn, man.
Anyway,
the chat, I'm glad the chat know you, and they know you full of shit.
The chat don't know I'm full of shit.
Nobody.
The chat don't know I'm full of shit. Okay.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Anyway, and then, man, let me give a shout out to the people that support the channel, man. The Mic Check podcast. We will be on with the Mic Check podcast right after the show. He is going live. We have a panel on that show, and so join us there. Chicken Talk, that's our guy. He has a show at 11 a.m. every Saturday morning. You can always catch Jason and I there. I mean, he's on there with Jake Donovan, and man, fire ass show. The Boxing Source, Manager Marty, man, we tight with all of them. Go check out their content, man. Really good people and really good content. So with that being said, Jay, let's keep it moving. Anything else we want to talk about relative to Canelo Alvarez? I mean, who should he fight next, Jay? Is there anybody that you have on the docket that you would like to see him in the ring with next?
Who, Canelo?
Yeah. I mean, I gave my thoughts. I don't know if you had the opportunity to give yours.
On who Canelo should fight next? Fight for Canelo.
Yeah.
You know, if he fights Bivol, I want that at 168. I want that at 168 because Bivol is one in that 168, so no one can say it's going to be a weight drain, anything of that nature there. I really don't want the fight at all, but if they have to fight, it has to be at 168. The fight I really want, I want Canelo Benavidez, Canelo Morel, Canelo. I don't want Charlo. Charlo's been in our ring for like 2 years. I don't want that right now.
Why?
Hold
up. Why? They should get their opportunity while they can.
I literally just said he's been out of ring for 2 years.
Who cares? He should get his opportunity while he can.
Think about it, Greg. He fights Charlo right now. He beats Charlo. What's going to be said about Canelo?
That he's
fought
really
a dude
good.
that was inactive for 2 years.
Okay.
I want to take that.
Okay, that's fair.
I want to take that excuse. And truth be told, I still have Canelo favorite in all these fights. Still, I just want to see the damn fights. Because those are the best fights to be made for Canelo, not no freaking John Ryder.
I don't know if I got him favored anymore. I used to have him favored. I don't know if I got him favored anymore.
But the last 2 fights we seen, like when we watched the Triple G fight, how he looked slow in the foot, his head wasn't there. He gassed like last night when he fought Ryder. He broke Ryder's nose in the second round. Couldn't get him up out of it. He gassed out. He was tired by like round 5 or 6.
I didn't see the fight, so I can't really speak to it.
It's the same thing. You don't have to see the fight. He's doing the same thing. It happens the same thing. His gas tank empties really fast. You know, so that against a Benavidez or Morel, that's going to change. That's going to be difficult against one of the young guns like that. They hit harder than Ryder, and they're faster than Ryder. I don't know. Now, granted, neither one of them have been in a ring outside of David Benavidez, who fought Plant. Morel hasn't been tested to that level. So that's one thing will be revealed if they're able to withstand someone like Canelo, at least for the first 3 to 6 rounds, because he gets off really fast out there and dies off quickly afterwards. After 5, 6 rounds, Canelo starts to struggle. You know, he's still smooth, but he's not the same, man. That's not against him. That's Father Time, man. Hell, I remember Roy Jones Jr. once was quick as shit. Father Time caught up with him, and he was never the same after that, man. It happens to all of us. So that was that's who I would like to see him fight. Any of those 3.
Yeah, I mean, all great fights. I had Canelo favored in all those fights in the past. I didn't think he looked particularly explosive, um, defensive minded against Bivol. I think Bivol beats him again. Um, Man, I got to go and look at Charlo's fights again because I always had Canelo favored over Charlo. I'm not so sure anymore. I need to see what Charlo's looked like recently.
I can't put
Morel,
y'all over Canelo right
Morel,
now.
Morel look, Morel look explosive as fuck, man. Man, he looks explosive. But I need to see more from him to really make a judgment. And then I think Benavidez beats him at this point.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, man. But I just want to see him in the ring. That's the thing. I hope what happened a couple of weeks ago in terms of Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia changes some of the perspectives and the mindsets of boxers where there's a belief that you cannot lose because you can lose. And Ryan lost in a great way because he took the risk. He lost. And that's okay. I want to see more of these guys getting in the ring. And, Chicken Talk had a great, I can't remember who they were talking about on his show on Saturday at 11 a.m. But Chicken, notice how I keep plugging your show, man. I've gotten real good at plugging people's show. But they were talking specifically about, I think was it Hitchens that they were talking about, where it's like, why are these fights difficult to make? These guys are not big names. So why is it hard to make these fights? It's because fighters are taking positions as though, they're these elite fighters when at the end of the day, man, you're just an ordinary fighter. And there's too many fighters. You remember I was talking about Jay the other day about using the term generational talent. And yeah. I mean, that's kind of in a way similar to what I'm saying now is that every fighter thinks that they're on the Floyd Mayweather blueprint and you're not. Just fight the best available fighters and your career will go in the way that it needs to go. Not to say that it's killing the sport, because again, and you know me, Jay, I've said on multiple occasions that fights need marinating. That's some of what has made the biggest fights in the sport in the past. So you need a little bit of marination there. But at the end of the day, you can't marinate too long, and you shouldn't be marinating when you like a guy that barely anybody knows. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I just went off on a tangent there, but it is what it is. Jay, anything else we want to touch on relative to Canelo Alvarez before we move on to the next topic?
Nah, man.
Cool. I'm going to let you run it, man, because you fresh. You just came off of a good nap, about 3 or 4 or 5 hour nap. So where you want to go from here?
Hey, y'all don't tell Greg nothing. He'll put your business out there on Front Street.
What is that? That's not business, man. You just took a nap. God damn. Is that business to tell? Damn, you sensitive after your naps.
Nah, in the chat, they were talking about, we may as well address it now because this is both something me and you talked about. We really don't like addressing a lot anymore. And this is EJ and Bud. So some people talking about saying that EJ should just get stripped. I'm from the mindset that both EJ and Bud are pretty much their fight is holding up the 147-pound division because everyone's trying to wait to see what they're moving. Now, other fighters still should do what they need to do, get some good fights in and don't put themselves on the ice because of that. But I understand if you're trying to be a mandatory, you're like, I want to get this shot. I want to get this shot next. You still don't. They're in a shitty situation. They're in almost a lose-lose, but I can agree with both of them holding their fight situation holding up now. Who is holding it up? I'm gonna let you go ahead and take lead dog on this one about is Bud the one that's holding up negotiations?
So let me preface my comments by saying fuck this fight. With that being said, based off of the article from Ring Magazine, they're essentially saying that it's one party that is actually holding up the negotiations, and we know that that's Terence Crawford. It's easy to see. It's not me speculating. It's not me gossiping. All you have to do is look at the information that's been available to us over the last several months to know that Terence Crawford is the issue in terms of this fight being made. One side has agreed to all the terms. The other side is still bringing up new terms and different information and different stuff and different requests for making a fight. Some people will say, hey, the guy doesn't really want to make the fight. If that's the case, I don't know, man. I just think Terence Crawford is a diva. I think he's been made a diva by Top Rank. I think he has been made a diva by getting money that he didn't necessarily deserve. And now Errol Spence is the recipient of diva type of responses, personalities, behaviors, whatever you want to call it. And so the fight hasn't gotten made. The fight hasn't gotten made. Will the fight get made? I don't know. Do I care if the fight gets made? Not really anymore. Sick of it. It's been way too much shit around this fight. And don't get me wrong, man. These two dudes, again, I'm going to go back to talking about marinating, Jay. I totally agree with marination of a fight. It needs to marinate. I think this fight probably marinated a little bit too long, just because of circumstances associated with Errol Spence, some under his control, others not. But at the end of the day, we always knew that Errol Spence was going to clean up his side of the street before he went to fight Terence Crawford. I was always concerned that Terence Crawford was going to either price himself out in terms of a split or something else. I don't know what their split is. Before it was 65-35, maybe they've agreed on something different. But usually the biggest hurdle in any negotiation is the split. But in the case of Terence Crawford, it becomes much more. It becomes the ability to control the promotions. You can't control the promoter is the one that is putting up the front money in order to, promote the fight. Typically, there could be others. I mean, it depends on the deal, right? But typically the promoter is the one that's fronting the money for the promotion. And then he gets his money back, and then you guys get paid on the back end. Terence Crawford wants to control the promotion and get the money on the back end without actually putting up the money on the front end. I don't think people actually understand that. They don't understand that. Usually the promoter puts the money up front. They negotiate a split on the back end. Then once the money comes in, it's split between the cable provider and all that, the distributor, all of that. The promoter gets his money back, right? Plus, of course, he's going to make a profit. And then the fighters get the split of the remaining pay-per-view. Crawford wants to control the front end, but asks for the PBC to put up the money. And then he wants the back end. It doesn't work like that, man. This shit is nuts. Yeah. So I'm at a point where I'm over the fight. I don't really give a shit if it happens or not. Do I think Crawford is the issue? Yes. Do I think Errol Spence needs to move on? Yes. And we can go into who we feel, Errol should fight next. But I just feel like, man, I'm just over the fight. I don't give a fuck if this fight happens anymore. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. And hear what I say. Hear the emphasis on fuck. Look into my eyes and understand what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck if this fight doesn't happen. Jay, I'm passing it to you.
I mean, I'm to the point I don't care about the fight. I'm gonna watch it if it does happen, though.
I'll watch it.
If it does happen.
I'll watch it because I'm a boxing fan.
But as far as the energy, we've pretty much. I think I want to say I know we have, and I'm quite sure most of the people in the chat have exhausted energy on this fight. As far as getting amped up for it, then all of a sudden, banana in the tailpipe. All of a sudden, David Avenesian.
Exactly.
All of a sudden, I got a hedge fund. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we need to believe a person when they tell you up front multiple times. One fighter said, this fight's never going to happen. One fighter said, I don't need this for my legacy. One fighter said, I'm good where I'm at. One fighter left and fought someone else in December, pulled another fighter out, who was fighting someone else on November 17th. Only one fighter did all of that. I'll let y'all do y'all research and find it. But it ain't hard, but for the sake of the division, they should just make both of them just drop the belts, man. Just for the sake of the division, so the division can damn near move on, man. That's how I am right now. I'm to the point I'm that tired of it. I want the young guns to get their chances now, man. And I feel bad for Spence, but Oh well, now I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired.
I hear you. I disagree. Um, because you can move in that division without having to fight those two individuals. So making the excuse, what I don't want is to give Jaron Ennis, Virgil Ortiz, Imantis Stanionis, or any other fighter at welterweight a reason or an excuse to say that I didn't fight someone else because Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is holding up the division. They're not holding up the division. You can fight all these other guys. You can fight all these other guys. So I don't want to see these guys get stripped. I'd be curious to see what Terence Crawford, maybe we can transition into this next, but I'd be curious to see what Errol Spence does next. I'd be curious to see what Terence Crawford does next. And let's make that transition, Jay. Let's talk about that next. But before we do that,
you beat me to it.
We have 133 people in the building, 61 likes. If you get the opportunity, please hit the like button or the dislike button if you don't like the content. We'll make sure that you're engaging with the content. We have a subscribe button, lower right-hand corner. If you are not part of the family yet, become a part of the family. It's AM Sports Media, the Angry Man Podcast. We are angry. We are a podcast. And, yeah, I was going to say something else, but I shouldn't go there.
No.
Yeah.
But go ahead and start off. You said who should EJ
Hold on,
fight?
I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Jason has been negligent in his duties, but I, like always, come through. We do now have a Cash App. Look at the lower left-hand corner. You can see the $ AM Sports Media. You look at how I seamlessly plug AM Sports Media Cash App while shitting on Jason at the same time. Guys, just for that, show some love. And then, of course, the people that support the channel, the Mic Chat Podcast, Chicken Talk, they do their thing, man. So go support their channel. All right, Jay, where you were going?
Go to hell, Greg.
I've been there for a long time. Anyway, man, it's all you, bro.
Fair point. Now, with all that being said about the whole EJ, Spence and Bud fight, who do we think Spence should fight next? If he doesn't get this, who should he move on to the fight from Bud? I would say right now.
I know who I want.
I say Boots. Or we know it's jacked up because Thurman's just been sitting waiting, but Thurman kind of made his bed himself a little bit by all the shenanigans he pulled on Spence early on. Ain't no fun when a Wabbit got the gun. And that's how it is right now for Thurman. But I think it's going to be Thurman or Boots his next fight. It's probably going to be Thurman. I just wish with it being, if it's Thurman, this fight could have been happened. Instead of him trying to go back to the table with, but I would have done this if I was Spence. I would have set the fight up for Thurman. And then been negotiating with the second fight with Bud on the back end after the Thurman fight. So that way I get that fight over with, get that defense out the way, beat his ass, and then get ready to beat Bud ass. But he wanted to wait for whatever reason. And I know he had the car accident last winter that kind of slowed some things down for him because I know he was going to announce the fight with him and Thurman early on. But that accident caused a delay in that. And I think that caused a delay in that fight for Thurman, which caused him thinking about, wait a minute, if I'm not going to fight Thurman and I forgot when they were supposed to fight, I may as well go ahead and try to run this back with Bud. Big mistake. But yeah, Boots for Thurman.
I think Spence wanted to be a man of his word in terms of I'm never going to fight Keith Thurman. I think he tried to circle the block exactly the way that Terence Crawford fans said that he would or that he should, and that they were trying to hold him accountable for not actually doing that. And it was a mistake. Simple as that. So anyway, who would I like to see Errol Spence in the ring with? It's not Keith Thurman. For me personally, I would love to see him in the ring with Ennis. because Ennis presents a style supposedly similar to Terence Crawford. And according to Ennis, his style is actually better because he's truly gifted from both sides, both the orthodox and southpaw style, right? So, according to Ennis, Terence Crawford is really just, gifted from one side. And I agree with him. I think Terence Crawford is a southpaw. He's not a switch hitter. He's a southpaw. And I don't even think Ennis is a switch hitter, to be quite honest with you. I think he's, we'll know what he is once he starts to go up in competition, and it's not as easy to just keep switching back and forth. Yeah. But I would love to see him in the ring with Ennis. It makes a statement in terms of, listen, I didn't get the guy that I wanted, but I got a guy that you guys may consider. And I'm saying you may consider. Listen to what I'm saying and not say that I said something different than what I said. That some may consider a carbon copy of Terence Crawford. Not only did I take on this guy, but I beat him convincingly. And now that I've done that, I'm going to move up to 154 pounds and do what I need to do in that division. Now, what does do what you need to do in that division mean? I don't know at this point with Mel in the division. But at the end of the day, I would want to see him in there with some kind of young gun, young lion, something that makes a statement in terms of Errol Spence and not Keith Thurman. Although I think Keith Thurman is a big fight. Don't get me wrong, because that fight will sell. It will sell regardless.
It'll sell still.
But I believe Errol Spence is a name that will sell in general. And I think with Jaron Ennis, you can pitch him to the general public as the next big thing, the next guy that's going to take on Errol Spence, who is currently the king of the welterweight division. You can promote that fight quite easily and make a boatload of money, and I think Errol Spence can win that fight. So that's what I want to see. Spence versus Ennis. But if I had to settle for Spence versus Thurman, I would, because I'm a boxing fan. I would watch that fight, but it's not my preference.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you. Boots is my preference, but I said Thurman because that's pretty much the most logical thing that's going to happen since Thurman is the Mando, So, yeah, I'm not happy with it at all. But to be fair, what's next for this fight doesn't happen? Where does Bud go next?
Bud needs to go to 154 and take on Charlo. That's what he said he was going to do. Right?
Yeah.
That's what he said he wanted to smoke.
He said he wanted to do that, but Spence said Spence said he has to fight him first before he goes to Charlo.
What the fuck? That don't listen.
Greg. The reason I'm saying that because I know people will say that. They will reference that.
So Errol Spence has no control over Jermell Charlo's career. He has no control over Terence Crawford's career. So if Terence Crawford makes the decision, because he's the WBO champion and can mandate or at least force a fight with Charlo, now I'd have to look at the rules of the WBO, but in reality, he wouldn't even be, because so who's Zoo? Zoo is the mandatory under what sanctioning body? Which one? Is it the WBO, WBC? Who is it? It's not a WBO, is it?
It might be the W. Let me take a look real fast.
So take a look at that. If it's the WBO, then maybe there's a chance that he can circumvent Tim Tszyu and become his mandatory. Maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
But if it's not, so Tim Tszyu is getting his title shot based off of the WBO rankings and his mandatory, right? So is it possible that Terence Crawford can circumvent Tim Tszyu because he was a super champion at a lower division? Maybe, because it's the WBO rules, right? So maybe that's possible. So if you can't make the fight with Errol Spence, I don't want to hear shit else. If you're not stepping up to go to 154 to take on Jermell Charlo, I don't want to hear it. Don't sit up there and stay at 147, because the move for Terence Crawford, if he truly wants an Errol Spence fight and he wants to be great, and I'm going to piggyback off of what Bomac said, which was Terence Crawford is top 5 if he beats Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. I would agree, because that would make him that will make him, well, it won't make him, if he moves up to 154 first, it won't make him undisputed at 147, but it will make him undisputed in his second weight class. Probably makes him top 5. So go up, beat Jermell. Errol has to come see you because he doesn't want to stay at 147 anymore. And now the leverage that you're asking for, the leverage that you want is there. You got all the belts. So now you can, will you be able to force like a 50-50 split? Probably not. But you do have a lot more leverage to force the fight. And then you can start putting the onus on Errol. If you don't make this fight, now it's on you. But you got to do something more than what you've done. So that's what I was going to fight Rocha or anything that looks like a Mean Machine or David Avanesian is unfucking acceptable. And any Terence Crawford fan that defends that, I don't even know what to say to you. You cannot defend that. You cannot continue to fight those types of fighters when there's other fighters available to you. And you're simply saying that you feel that you're worth more than what we all know that you're worth. So those are my thoughts on Terence Crawford, Jay.
Question for you, Greg, and to the chat. If Bud was to fight, which I know it, but I'm still going to ask it anyway. Which fight sells more, Bud versus Spence or Bud versus Charlo?
Bud
which one he gets paid more for? Which one he gets paid more?
Bud versus Spence. That's easy work.
Now, the thing with Bud, he already said he doesn't need the Spence fight for his legacy. So why the hell would he talk about fighting? Why would he fight Mel and Spence? You know, he already feels he doesn't need it. You know, now I agree with Bomac said 100%. He beats both of them, he'll be top 5. You know, that'll solidify him.
I agree.
For sure. Up there, but don't see it happening either way. But yeah. So, but yeah, I don't got nothing else on EJ and Bud. What about you?
Look at tunnel vision. Neither. Both fantasy fights for Bud. He never into his own doing. I hate tunnel vision. I hate him because I feel like right now he's so right, and I want him to be wrong.
It's sickening, right? It's sickening, right? Your day coming, tunnel vision. Your day coming, my man.
Bro, I don't have anything else to say about it, dude. DeKegi, what's going on with you, bro? What's our next topic, Jay? You got it, man. You well rested.
Yeah.
A lot of rest. You running this shit.
So this one made me laugh. Although this is from a tweet from 2021 from Devin Haney talking about he is Floyd Mayweather, pretty boy Floyd Mayweather reincarnated. He's pretty much that dude. Says he's very similar to that style of Floyd, pretty boy Mayweather.
Whew. I think Devin on mushrooms. Dog, listen. Hey, listen. And I'm saying this. I'm a Devin Haney fan. I'm a Shakur Stevenson fan. I'm a Tank Davis fan. I like all 3 fighters. Neither one of those fighters have demonstrated that they're pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. Neither one. None of them. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
But this whole comment about you are pretty boy Floyd Mayweather reincarnated, in what sense? In what fucking sense? In his style? No. In his ability? No. In his accomplishments? No. Well, accomplishments maybe, yeah, because he's undisputed.
He trained with Floyd Sr.
I don't give a fuck. Like, bruh, what the fuck is he talking? Hey, man, I like Devin. But Devin is promoting, bro. He's promoting his fight. I don't know what else to call it. He ain't pretty boy Floyd Mayweather reincarnated. What? I mean, is he a defensive fighter? Yeah. But Pretty Boy was knocking motherfuckers out. Pretty Boy was kicking ass.
He punched.
And although Devin Haney is, I would say, probably more accomplished at 135 pounds because he's undisputed, the competition that I feel that Floyd faced at 135 is better than the competition that Devin has faced so far. So, no, you're not Floyd Mayweather reincarnated. That makes no sense to me.
Because the picture he put up, they had the same fighting style, the same pose, which is cool and all. But, like, I agree 100% with you. You're not Pretty Boy. I'm like,
fuck
people, that's
here.
why I hate when people talk about.
Hey, Jay. Am I Floyd reincarnated now? Am I not Floyd reincarnated? What the fuck? Man, stop.
Bro, you saw he was trying to. That's what he was trying to do because he posted that picture. That's why I posted the side by side with him and Floyd in that same stance. But the thing is, I hate when people talk about Floyd and they say, "Oh, Floyd, he just pot shots." And I'm like, y'all don't know boxing, and y'all haven't watched boxing. Because if you watch Pretty Boy, you knew he was a damn demon in that damn ring. His best fight to me was when he fought Chico. That fight, he had no advantage in that fight whatsoever. Chico had all the advantages. He systematically broke Chico down easily. And he was vicious. Floyd was vicious at that weight class. So no way in hell Devin is Floyd. I mean, he might be a wish version of Floyd, great value version of Floyd, because he's lanky, but that was about it. There's no other similarities to me between the two. It's great to wish that, but not at all.
Hey, Jay, we just got a link. Shout out to Chicken Talk because he sent the link to us for him and his interview with his girl. And I probably got through 2 minutes of it prior to starting the show. So, I haven't seen it in its totality, but be on the lookout for a video on it because I'm pretty sure there's some information in there, right? So definitely we will be checking that out probably right after the show, actually. Yeah. But Jay, go ahead, man. My bad.
Nah, you good. But yeah, I mean, and I don't think as Pretty Boy, I don't remember really seeing Floyd get hurt. I remember seeing Floyd get stunned twice against Shane Mosley with 2 punches, and he beat the dog shit out of Shane the rest of that fight. Maidana hurt him at the end of the round.
Chop Chop.
I think it's
Chop Chop hurt.
And Chop hurt him.
Chop Chop hurt him.
Was it overhand right there? Chop caught him.
I thought he caught him with a straight left because pretty sure he's a southpaw. Chop hurt him. I thought Zab caught him good. I'm not sure if he was hurt. He might have been stunned.
Oh, when he
yeah. Maidana hurt him. Pacquiao
Maidana definitely hurt him.
Pacquiao hurt him.
Wait.
In the fourth and in the sixth, Pacquiao hurt him in both rounds. The thing about Floyd is Floyd recovers. People don't really, man, fucking Floyd, man. I miss that motherfucker. Floyd had everything. Floyd recovers so damn quickly. When he hurt, he recovers so damn fast. Floyd is recovered within like 15 seconds. So if you don't get on his ass immediately, your ass out. And it's so hard to even connect with one of those punches. Floyd was a motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
He just hit his game, man. His fight, his boxing IQ was just through the roof. His reflexes on top of the fact that he had a high boxing IQ. Like you said, he was hell. He was hell.
Trackman said Floyd regenerates. That's a good way to describe it. That motherfucker regenerates, bro.
Absorb that shit.
That motherfucker recovers fast as hell.
Yeah, I don't remember Manny hurting him. Like
Manny hurt him in the fourth.
The way Shane hurt Floyd and way Maidana hurt him. Cause those were legit where his knees buckled.
Nah, he hurt him in the same way Shane caught him with the first punch. The second punch is the one that wobbled Floyd. The first punch, that's the one that got him in trouble. Manny hurt Floyd in the fourth and in the sixth round. It's just that Floyd recovers so damn fast. Floyd recovers fast as fuck.
But again, I mean, basically, Haney, you ain't Floyd. Bottom line.
Man, even when he tried to do that Floyd shit, man, we remember when we did the breakdown with him and Cambosos. We broke down where he gets hit, like his defense really isn't as tight as, you would think it would be based off of his style. I like Haney. Haney's really good. I think he's improved. I think he's improved since the Jojo Diaz fight. He's a good fighter, man, but Floyd, stop.
Yeah. A good point, Planet 619. He said that there's a difference between being hurt and reacting badly. That's very key because that's the first time I actually seen Floyd actually react to being hurt. With Shane.
So what are we? So I mean, again, it depends on how you define it. I'm okay with that. If you're saying I define it one way and you're defining it another way, I can totally understand that.
Yeah, I think visibly
When I saw Floyd get hit, Floyd got hit and he reacted to it. It was like, now was he like? I'm not defining. Okay. I'm not defining hurt as Floyd looked like he was about to go down. I'm not defining hurt. Okay. I'm talking about he felt that motherfucker like he was stunned. I guess I'm defining it as stunned.
Okay, yeah, I'm talking about like hurt, like oh shit, he's about to be done. Like when he got caught by Shane and he buckled like that, like oh shit.
Then that's the only time that I've. And you know what's so funny about that fight? And sorry that we're detouring. He almost got hit with that same punch, the first punch. He almost got hit with it in the first round. I was like, Floyd got to be fucking careful. Like Shane almost hit him with that punch. Hit him with the second punch. Caught him with the second punch or the first punch in the second round. Caught him with the second punch in the second round. Bruh, 10 seconds in, I was like, oh yeah, Floyd's back. And Floyd was beating his ass by the last 20 seconds of the round. He was beating his ass. I was like, oh, Floyd gonna fuck him up the rest of this fight, and that's exactly what he did. So, yeah. Now, but yeah, if you guys are defining like hurt meaning like he's about to look like he's about to go out, the only time he ever looked like he was about to go out was against Shane. So if that's how you're defining it, then I agree.
Yeah. Now against McDonough, at the end of that round, Floyd was hurt because he wobbled. It's like he got hit. And he tried to play it off, but man, he was like, oh shit, like his strategy changed after that.
For a round, then he started whooping his ass again.
He wasn't doing what he was doing before that hit. He changed. I'm not gonna get caught by that again.
Man, we all off topic, but man, I was watching I was watching Floyd's most savage moments. And one of the moments that came up was Floyd with his father, and I'm not gonna go into the details with that, but the way that Floyd described his father, I'll never forget that because that forced me to go look at his father, because he was like, Roger maybe, blah 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 blah. I went and looked at Floyd Sr. against Sugar Ray Leonard. I was like, holy shit, this motherfucker is like Floyd from 20 years ago. There's no fucking way Roger made you. Your style is exactly like your daddy's, like. And he admitted to that later on, right? And it's just interesting, that family dynamic. You say shit, but man, Floyd was a motherfucker, man. One of the best fighters ever. All right, man. Sorry about that. I'm detouring, man. I'm y'all. Fantasizing about Floyd and shit. Before we go on to the next topic, though, Greg, real quick, we got 168 people. Say what? Did you just say pause?
Yeah, I said pause for you, my man.
Yeah, that shit did sound like, when I was saying it, I felt like it was a pause moment, but I said it anyway. We got 168 people in the building. We got 96 likes. To get the opportunity, please hit the like button or the dislike button if you don't like the content, but make sure you're engaging. Also, there's a subscribe button at the bottom right-hand corner. Subscribe, become a part of the channel, the family, because that's what we are here at AM Sports Media, the Angry Man Podcast. And then also, there's a lot of people that we interact with. Chicken Talk, the Mike Chat Podcast, the Boxing Source. Go check them out, man. Great channels and great content. All right, Jay, my bad. Pause. Fantasizing about Floyd. Fucked up with that one.
I wasn't going to even bring it up no more, but you had to bring it up. Now,
that's
we're
okay.
talking about,
I'll get you later on.
We're talking about Devin. Shout out to Chicken Talk, because he's on the train. He's on the mindset that Loma's gonna beat Devin Haney. Do you think Loma will expose Devin Haney?
No. I think Devin Haney will win. Now I get what Chicken Talk is saying. It's like my thing, man, and I've said this on multiple occasions, man. My thing is this: it's okay to disagree. Just bring bring a perspective, an argument that actually makes sense. Chicken Talk's argument makes sense. Like, I get exactly what he's saying. Devin ducks to his right a lot, and he got caught versus Jojo Diaz with that straight left a lot. And Chicken Talk feels that Lomachenko, being a better fighter, is going to be able to expose that. I think Devin has gotten better since then. So I think Devin's going to win the fight. Could Devin lose the fight? Of course. Because maybe Kambosos really wasn't what we thought he was. I mean, he beat Teofimo ass, but Teofimo probably wasn't what we thought he was either. So, I mean, it is what it is. I got Devin winning it. But But we'll see, bro. I told you last week I was gonna make an excuse to come right back to Devin, regardless of what Chicken Talk
Yeah,
said.
you did. I hate Chicken Talk. I even put that in my mind, man. I wasn't gonna bet on it. I'm not betting on this fight neither because Loma is definitely a live dog in this fight, and it worries me about some of the angles that Loma does use that can impact Devin. Like you said, Devin ducks his head too much. He's susceptible to an uppercut, in my opinion, because the way he ducks and the way he tries to clinch, it seems like he's trying hard. He's just like he's just reaching. He's reaching and he's exposed, and not one fighter's taking advantage of that yet. I think Loma, with his experience, can. Now, after seeing Loma versus Ortiz, I was like, nah. I know Ortiz is a different fighter than Dev, but Ortiz's size, his reach, his height advantage was a problem for Loma. I think Dev's issue is, will Loma respect Dev's power enough like he respected Tio not to go in there, to take his time, to try to take his time and let him just bag a few rounds? That's the question. And I don't know if Dev has the power to earn Loma's respect fully like Loma had with Tio. I'm still picking Dev because I think Dev has the advantages on it. On Loma, I think Dev also is the hungrier fighter right now. He knows this is his chance to really solidify himself as a true top dog in 135. He has all the belts, undisputed, but he's not considered top dog in his own weight class. Ain't that some shit?
It depends on who you're talking to, whether you feel he's top dog or not, I guess.
I mean, if the belts matter, then yeah, he's top dog. But if you look at it, it'll be a slightly different, man.
I feel you. Anything else we want to cover before we go to the next topic? I think we want to talk about Devin Haney and
the pay-per-views.
The pay-per-views. You read my mind, dude. And we had 57 minutes, Jay. So I think we got a few more topics to get through before we usually open the line up at an hour in. So we'll still open the line up at about an hour in, so people can call in and give their takes and their thoughts. But I think we got a few more we need to get through. But go ahead, Jay.
Yeah. So the next one would be about. So what does everyone think the pay-per-views for Devin versus Loma will do? 100 or less, between 100 and 300, or more than 300.
So let me go to the. I want to go to the actual, because we did a poll on it, Jay, and I was actually surprised at the poll because I actually disagree with the poll. And Jay, I think we're gonna put our pound for pound poll up after. So just so you guys are aware, AM Sports Media, we do a pound for pound poll and we post it, the results of the poll, and it's subscriber driven, right? So you come in and you vote on it. It's not our vote, it's your vote. And then we published it and then we talk about it, right? And I lost my train of thought, Jay. Where the fuck was I going with that? That's the disadvantage about being live when you lose your train of thought. But we family.
Yeah,
so
no script, no teleprompter.
Yeah. I was going to the polls. So yeah, you guys just make sure that you're on the watch out for that. After the Devin Haney fight, we're going to do the poll because I want you guys to be involved with that. But let me go to the community and see the poll. So we did this poll. And I disagree. So most people thought it was going to do 100,000 to 299,000 pay-per-view buys. So 50% of the people said that. Below 100K, 38%, and above 300K, 12%. And that's 1,700 people who voted on that, Jay. So that's quite a bit of people who voted on it.
People have spoken.
The people have spoken. Now I have my opinion, Jay. What's yours? I see some people in the chat that's putting their numbers up, and I agree with a lot of those numbers. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying less than 100. Less than 100.
So Cozy Rito says 50K. Akello Nieder says 100K. Tunnel Vision 50K. Emmanuel less than 300K. The Kegi, I think 100K for sure, but maybe even as high as 150. Santos under 200K. I think it does under 100.
I do too. I mean, I mean, for the type of fight this is, it's a really good tactical fight, high level boxing. I feel, but it's not the drama that people want. It's not the main names that the casuals know. So I think that's going to hurt it.
Yeah, I don't think
Because
Devin's that
casuals
big of a
don't
name.
know Devin like that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
casuals don't know Devin like that, and I'm always hesitant to call people casual. So let's call it the general public. The general public don't know Devin like that.
That's fair.
And the general public certainly. So yesterday I went and hung out with my homeboy Pooh. Shout out to my boy Pooh. We hung out yesterday for a little bit. And you know, he follows the sport, but I would say that he follows the sport more of a, if you will, casual. And he was talking about Tank. Knew who Tank was. Talk all about Tank. Could tell you from Tank A to Z. And he was like, man, yeah, I think Tank gonna fight Shakur next. And he knew who Shakur was, but didn't know that much about Shakur. He thought Shakur was from Louisiana. I'm like, no, bro, he's from New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then I said, no, I said, I think if he fights anybody next, it might be, you know, Devin Haney. Oh, I don't know him. Then I was like, yeah, Devin Haney fighting Lomachenko. Lomachenko, I don't know him. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So cats like him will watch Tank, but they don't know them. Yeah. So I just feel like the hardcore people know Devin. I think Devin, if he gets over 100, I would not be surprised. But I think it's gonna do Terence Crawford numbers. That bitch gonna do less than 100,000 with just like David Avanesian.
Yeah.
Now maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I see it.
No, I see it. I see it less than 100. You know, like, I mean, Jason once said, there's no real buzz for it. You know, even Devin's going on a campaign just pissed off. Loma's not promoting the fight. He's not selling the fight. He's not selling the fight. I'm like, well, like we talked about before in a prior video we did, Loma's kind of doing Loma a little bit. I think he was more boisterous when he fought T.O. though. I think Loma was a little bit more talkative about the T.O. fight than this fight for some reason. My memory could be bad because I'm old as shit on that, but I think he was more boisterous about that fight there.
That's fair modern kickboxing. He did 135,000 versus Porter. I'm talking specifically about the David Avanesian fight, but the Porter, he did do those numbers versus Porter.
Yeah, that's a good dance. I mean, Porter's a good dance partner as well. You know, Porter's a known name that does okay.
Yeah,
you know, but
that's fair.
This fight here, I mean, it doesn't have for it to be a fight for Devin Haney's undisputed title belts. It's not getting the same buzz.
I agree.
It's not getting the same buzz at all. You know, I mean, hell, we're 2 weeks away, 2 weeks away, and we don't really hear much. So we'll see.
We shall see, my friend. Jay, should we go ahead? I know we got another couple of topics, man, but I always love to hear what the people got to say, Jay.
Let's go to people got to say. I want to hear. I want to see that as well.
We got to make sure that we get what the people want to say in. So the phone lines are officially open. So definitely want to hear what you guys got to say on these topics, Jay. We can continue to go through the topics that we have, but we got to get the folks in, bro.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have, bro?
So the only other thing we had was, you know, about Haney dissing Frank, calling him old as shit. You know, I think that's really just part of Devin trying to sell the fight. He know he has to do everything he can to sell his fight, so you got to talk about other fighters that had some buzz. And that's why he mentioned Tank a little while ago, saying that Tank's not going to take the fight with him and whatnot. You know, but he knows this fight here, if it flops, he has no advantage for himself.
We got folks calling in, Jay.
Go right ahead.
We got a couple people calling in, but I know the 513, man. I'm pretty sure the 513 is my guy Chicken Talk, but I'm checking. Who do we have in the building?
No, it ain't Chicken Talk.
Oh, it ain't Chicken Talk?
This Big Dose.
Who we got?
What's going on with you, bro?
Big Dose. What's up with you, Greg?
Chilling, man. Chilling. What's happening?
What's up, Jay?
What's happening, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Hey, I hate to say it, but I believe that y'all might be right. But I believe part of it is the push behind Devin and Loma. It's really not have been that much of a push. It's not everywhere. You don't go on panels and see debates about Devin and Loma. You know what I'm saying? All leading up to Gervonta versus Ryan fight, it was so much controversy with the weight clause and also with, people just mad about Tank keep fighting these Rudy Poots. You know what I'm saying? And then on the other hand, you got the Tank diehards that give up their firstborn, child in order to save Tank. You know what I'm saying? I think all of that compounds into this fight not being as big as it should be. It should be a humongous fight. And also, I disagree with you, Greg. They are casuals because all they care about is somebody getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? The majority of the people that bought the pay-per-views, they just want to see somebody get knocked out. They don't care. They don't want to see nobody do no sweet science. They don't want to see, somebody get outboxed. They don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? But those same people, though, if they saw a street fight and one dude was just piecing the other dude up, tagging him, got him all bloody, bouncing around and tagging him, whether he knocked him out or not, they're going to be entertained.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I know what you're saying.
I agree with you when it comes to this fight, man. I don't think it's going to do the astronomical numbers that I would like it to do because I'm a Devin Haney fan. You know what I'm saying? I even made a song for this upcoming fight that I'm going to release on my channel within the next couple of days before the fight. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. Tank had the pleasure of having Floyd behind him to boost his career up. In the beginning of his career, a lot of people came to his fights just because Floyd was going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Then Tank started showing people, hey, I got concussive power in these hands, and then they start coming for that reason also.
Yeah.
I
can see that. But let me say this to a caller. I think initially because of the association with Floyd, that was the buzz around Tank. But after, to your point, that concussive power, the ability to actually figure fighters out, because, man, Tank has a very high IQ, according to Shakur Stevenson himself. So I think now, today, Tank Davis is really promoting himself. Like, the buzz around Tank Davis is about Tank Davis and less about Floyd Mayweather.
I think it's a mixture of both still. Chicken Top said, "Ask videos, can I come watch the pay-per-view at his house?" Did you pay for Tank versus Ryan, Chicken Talk? Because if you did, you should be paying for Devin versus Loma, because everybody and their mama knew Tank was gonna beat Ryan. Facts. Now, how many people Tank done fought in his career that we was like, oh man, I don't know if Tank gonna win this one? None. Zero.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but to be fair, there's a lot of fighters like that.
They're not my favorite fighters.
So give me an example.
I want to see 50-50 fights.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that, but give me an example of somebody who wasn't a favorite going into their fight. That's your favorite fighter.
That wasn't Spence. Spence wasn't a favorite against Brook. Got you.
You didn't get me because I like Spence too.
Right, but you said give you an example, and I gave you one.
I think that's probably the only time that Spence went into a fight where it's probably a 50-50. Because Jay, you remember you and I talking about this.
Yeah.
I thought that Spence was going to be in for a rough one because at the time Kell Brook was one of my favorite fighters, but I wanted Spence to win. But go ahead, bro. No, I think that's a fair statement.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Wilder versus Fury. Wilder is one of my favorite fighters. He was the underdog in the third fight. Still one of my favorite fighters, though.
I'm not disagreeing.
He chose to go. Let me just finish this. He chose to go and fight somebody who nobody thought he was going to beat. That's the type of fighter I like. That's the type of cojones I like. That's what I pay for. I don't want to pay to see you keep beating up on these bums.
I don't disagree with you about those two fights, but I would say as a whole, most times, most fighters today, you're going into the ring knowing who's going to win. I would say 80% of the time you're going into the ring knowing who's going to win.
And if they fighting like that and they continue to fight like that and don't never take no chances, I would never be a fan of them.
I'm not arguing your point at all. I can't argue that.
What happened to the old days, man, when fighters used to fight any and everybody, man, and then people that claim to be hard boxing fans, they ain't with that. They want to see the bum bass too.
Let me address that though.
Hard boxing fan.
Let me address
that.
Not
talking about y'all, Greg. I'm just saying.
No. I agree with you. But let me say this. Because I think sometimes we, what's the word that I'm looking for, Jay? Because I don't want to say something that you have to say pause for again. We embellish to some extent what the old school or the old times or back in the day used to be. Leonard Hagler took a while for it to be made. Leonard versus Hearns, that took a while for both fights to be made. Tyson versus Holyfield took a while. Tyson versus Lewis took a while. So, like, some of these fights take a while. Now, what I will say is that I feel that people were more willing to fight back in the day, but I don't want to make it seem like back in the day, boy, everybody was fighting everybody immediately. That's not how it was either, right? Just want to be fair.
Pretty much. When we think about everyone's fighting everyone, we think about Sugar Ray, Hearns, Hagler, Duran, all them. Those are four fighters everyone always talks about.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a fucking baby when those fucking fights were happening. So I can't really speak to like how like the sentiment around that time. I always tell people it's better to hear from someone who was actually around at that time, because researching it versus people who are around is completely different, right? Completely different.
Tim Witherspoon, Bruce Gas.
Hey, let me answer Chicken Talk question. Chicken Talk said Loma versus Devin Haney, the odds are the same. What am I talking about? This is what I'm talking about, Chicken Talk. Besides Lomachenko, Devin fights who he has to fight. Tank has his pick. He can fight whoever. He's choosing to fight that type of fighter. Devin is fighting who will fight him. That's the difference.
Let me ask you one question, bro, before we move to the next caller. Tank has said, since he moved from Mayweather Promotions, and Tank was very transparent in saying that he didn't ask for those fights, but since moving away from Mayweather Promotions, he's fought Ryan, who was considered one of the four kings just a couple years ago. And he said that he wants, that's fine. I don't disagree with that, but he did say that he wanted the four. Right. He was one of those four kings, and he did fight him. And he said that he wants Devin and Shakur before he retires, and he doesn't want to be around in the sport much longer. So, do you feel that he's going to fight those guys next?
I will be honest. I feel like Tank is doing better. He is doing better. He's stepping up his competition better. I will say that.
Okay.
I would say if Tank fights Shakur, Devin, and Frank Martin, man, he would have showed me something. Because in boxing, all I want to know is who is the best. Who is the best? And the only way we're going to know that is if they fight each other. Am I right?
I don't disagree at all.
So, no, I agree with that.
So
I got a question for you,
nobody
though.
be making excuses for no fighter not to fight the best.
Yeah. Now, I got a question for you. Now, you said you want to see Tank in a fight where it's a 50-50 fight, right? Or he's the underdog. Do you think him and Devin, Tank will be an underdog, or it's a 50-50 fight?
I think it's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, what the bookies make it, that's something different. But I'm talking about in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it would be a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. I think Tank and Shakur would be a 50-50 fight. I think Shakur and Devin would be a 50-50 fight. And I think Frank Martin would be a 50-50 fight with any of those fighters. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to pay for. And if you were a boxing fan and you saying that's not what you want, then what the hell do you want in the sport? Out of this sport,
I agree with you on that. If you don't want to see those fights, then what you doing?
I want to see Spence fight Bud. I want to see Spence fight Boots. You know what I'm saying? Unlike some Bud fans who don't want to see Bud fight Boots. You see what I'm saying? I want to see Spence fight Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that what y'all want?
Yeah, I don't disagree at all, bro.
I watched the hell out of that fight.
So, bro, anything else you want to share with the people before we move to the next call?
And I just want to say this, man. Hey, salute to y'all and all this great work that y'all doing, man. And y'all got a good thing going on, and I support y'all, watch all y'all videos and stuff, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, brothers. Keep doing y'all thing. It's a beautiful thing to see, man. And when we all can come together and talk this good boxing talk and civilly do it, it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it, man. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, salute, brothers.
Salute. Oh, man. 857, give me a real quick second. We got 196 people in the building. We got 129 likes. If you get the opportunity, please, please, please hit that like button. It gives people the opportunity to find our content. And if you don't like it, hit the dislike button, man. But make sure that you are engaging with the content. Also, subscribe to the channel. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media. We're dropping content on a regular basis. We're doing video clips. We're doing live streams. We're doing documentaries. Make sure you join and become a part of the family. And we finally got this this Cash App thing that they asked us to set up, man. It's set up there. AM Sports Media is the Cash App. Support the channel. So we had somebody on the line, man, and they dropped 850 or 857. You dropped. Now we got the 502 calling. You're on the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Who do we have in the building?
My name is JR. They call me JR 357.
Jay, what? Hey, turn your volume down so we can hear you. But
Podcast with Jason and Greg. Who do we have in the building?
So, so what area are you from?
I'm from Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville. What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, man? We just had the Derby this weekend.
Gotcha. What's happening with you?
I'm blessed, man. I can't complain. How y'all been up, man?
Oh man, we doing well. I'm doing great, man. Jason doing like shit, but I mean, what's different?
Jason looks like he doing shit.
I know, don't he? He always looks shitty, don't he? He always looks shitty. Go ahead, bro.
Y'all crazy, man. I'm messing with you, man. But on the thing, man, like I was looking at one of the comments, man, like Terence Bud Crawford is the god.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said, look, me personally, Terence Bud Crawford, man, I feel like everybody's running from him. Man, he's the most strategic. Like, his IQ is crazy.
Okay. Are you there? I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah, I'm still here, man. But, like, think about it. Spence. Come on, man. What? Everybody, this is what I know. Everybody that's Spence fans every Spence fan just knew Porter was going to win.
What? Against Bud?
Yes, every Spence fan thought that man was going to get that.
Who? I don't know what. Greg, you thought Porter's going to beat Bud?
Damn, he hung up, man. For some reason, he hung up. Hey, bro, call back in if you I'm not sure what happened with you. Yeah, this him calling back in. Damn, he hung up again. Okay. 857, we got the 857 in the building, man. Tell us where you're from and what's your name. What's going on with you?
This is Walt from Boston, guys. Florida State guy. You know I
man, I got to remember. I got to remember your. Hey, Jason. Stop.
Yeah, it's Walt.
I got to remember your. Hey, I'm not a true fan. What the fuck are you? I'm a graduate. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm a graduate.
Hey, Greg, I got people from the ATL, man, from Decatur. I'm gonna come down there and see y'all, man, because Jay, I mean,
he's not in
killing
Atlanta.
me, Jay.
He's not in Atlanta. Hey, come fuck with me though, man. I'm
real
I'm
quick though, because these guys that called in earlier got me like on some like I don't like some people. I don't know if they really watch boxing because if Jay, real quick, just on your topic that you said Canelo's up in the tooth. He only 32 years old.
Yeah, but not fight wise.
Yeah, but bro, he's still 32 years old, man. You can't. He won't fight an athletic fighter because he can't beat them.
That too. That's facts.
But the real reason why I called because the guy a few minutes ago who started going on about Tank's resume, Pitbull Cruz and the dude that Tank fought at 140 destroys everybody on Devin Haney's resume. Not just beats them, probably stops them. This is Devin Haney's first real fight. It's like, I just don't get that. It's like and I agree, they all haven't fought the top guys, but stop acting like Tank ain't fought anybody.
So that's an interesting point, Jay. I think Barrios does beat everybody on Devin Haney's resume.
So does Pitbull.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they haven't fought each other. That's the thing. Like you said, they haven't fought
y'all
each other.
remember before Devin Haney, after Lopez lost to Cambosis, they were calling Cambosis bum, all these clowns and all that. Now Devin beats him. They act like he beat Ali.
Okay, I got you.
He got undisputed easier than anybody in the history of boxing. Go look at everybody getting the undisputed.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm not saying Dev can't fight. Devin can fight. But we all going to find out who he is on the 20th.
I like that. I like your position on that.
That's fair. I mean, but you can't blame Devin for fighting a dude.
No, I don't blame Dev. I don't. They all need to fight each other.
Yeah.
You ain't saying nothing wrong as far as I can understand.
Facts. I want to see all the fights as well.
Because, brothers, we all got to agree at 135 is hot right now. But until them dudes fight each other, nobody knows. I just hate the fact that people act like the other one ain't nothing. They're dogging brothers out. It's like, you got dudes like, Reynoso saying black fighters don't fight and all this. And brothers should be all over that. But they're all over other brothers. I just don't get that.
Hey, and this is the reason why, man. Some people come on this channel and say that we are PBC fanatics. What did Oscar De La Hoya say?
We're PBC minions.
Minions, PBC minions.
Can I ask you a question, Greg? You said it better than anybody first. I mean, earlier in the Terence Crawford, Errol Spence thing. Who's the only person to say I don't need to fight? Who's the only person to say I'm past the fight?
Crawford.
Like it's like I've never heard Errol say any of that.
Nope, not at all.
And then did you hear what Terence said after the Tank fight? He said, "Now I you guys know what I should get."
I didn't see that. You guys know it.
I
know it.
That's what Mike Tyson said. You don't understand that. You bring 5 guys to the fight.
Yo, I like Terence Crawford, and people think that we don't like Terence. People think, again, I'm gonna go back to this. People think that we're PBC minions. I like Terence Crawford. I like Shakur Stevenson. That's a fact. I like Devin Haney. That's a fact. And I like Tank. That's a fact. I like a Virgil Ortiz, and he was a Golden Boy. That's a fact. Anybody that can go check the track record knows that. But we just tell it how we see it.
Listen, if you're Terence Crawford, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
And you're looking at PBC, you're looking at Top Rank, and you're looking at the Zone. We all been watching the last biggest pay-per-views in all of boxing. Where they been?
PBC.
So how can you sit there and go, I don't know if I'm gonna get my money with y'all. I'd rather go get my $3 million guaranteed from Bob. Like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, Carla is on fire in this bitch.
Like, bro, you can't do this. It just makes no sense. Like, people just sit there and everybody has stands, and I agree with that. But it's called prize fighting. You bring what you bring. And Terence Crawford is skilled as hell, but you can look skilled as hell against Amir Khan and Bumshoe Bill and all these dudes you fighting. Like, you to me, dude, how you gonna go from I'm gonna fight Terence Crawford to an Uber driver? I mean, to Errol Spence to an Uber driver. And I told y'all before, then if he don't fight Errol, I guarantee you the next dude's gonna be number 15 because you got to fight the top 15 guy. You know, unless he can get Blair Fair carved out of the WWE.
Yeah, because Roach,
like, you know what I mean?
Fight next month.
And thanks for the great content, brothers. I mean, I got a lot excited, but some of these people calling in, I just don't get what they watching. It's like, I don't. And real quick though, Canelo Alvarez right now in his career. You see John Ryder, like I know you didn't watch it, Greg, but John Ryder was killing him with the uppercut, like in the later rounds. And that's a lefty. Yeah. That's the reason why he would never fight Boo Boo, because an athletic lefty will make him look really bad. It's like, if he fights, you'll never get to see him fight. I don't think any of the top guys, if he fights Bibble again, because I think Bibble is going to retire him. Because he's going to get beat really bad in this fight, and he's just going to say, geez, I got enough, let me get out.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to get embarrassed in front of Reynoso, and he won't lose to a black, he won't fight a black American fighter because they will knock him out. And he does not, they don't want to see that. It's for the reason why people tell you Lomachenko is the best ever. And if Canelo Alvarez was a dark-skinned Mexican, he wouldn't be getting all the love he gets, man.
You said a mouthful then.
But y'all have a great one, man. Keep with the great content.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for calling in.
Go Canes.
Man, shut the fuck up. Man. Hey, listen. No, fuck that. That man called in. He talking about Florida State. When somebody that's related to Miami calls in, then Miami calls in. Fucking Kane. You ain't even graduate from that. See, you done made me say something.
You answer the damn phone. How about that? Let you answer this phone call.
We got the 804 in the building. We got the 804 in the building, man. You on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg, and I hope you're a Florida State fan. Who do we have in the building?
Nah, I do like Dion, though.
Yeah, man, that's all you need. Then you're an honorary Florida State fan. What's going on with you?
What's going on?
Chilling. What's your name, bro?
Maxwell. I'm out of Virginia, but I'm living in Atlanta right now.
Oh, you in the A, bro? What part of the A you in?
Downtown Atlanta.
Okay, I'm in Johns Creek.
All right, okay, that's what's up, up north. Listen, just like y'all, I'm a big Spence fan as well, and I know I understand what you're saying, but when you said that a lot of fights, big fights, take a long time to get made, but for some odd reason, this fight, this is probably the most strangest negotiations that I ever seen when it comes to two boxers.
I mean, go ahead and elaborate on that.
I mean, Crawford is free agent, right? Network free agent.
Yeah.
What is
and a promotional free agent as well?
They said it ain't no more so-called size of street, which I thought for a long time was
was BS. But
Facts.
I think this should have been a roughly made. I thought this should have been a roughly easily made fight. But I can understand an aspect of why Crawford wants what he wants, because after this fight, I don't think that fighting Spence, seeing that what Spence does to people in the ring, his body or his career probably will not be the same after this fight.
Yeah, I knew you were going there. Keep going though.
But I just wanted to know y'all real opinion on what do you really think is taking Crawford so long to agree to so many terms?
Crawford is looking to so a lot of people think Crawford is scared. I don't think Crawford is scared. I think Crawford is delusional. I think Terence Crawford is delusional. I think his perception of his worth is way off. I believe that the only reason these negotiations have extended to this point is because Errol Spence wants this fight so bad, because his overall mission was to become undisputed. If this was any other fighter and Terence Crawford was doing this shit, negotiations would have ended long ago. What Terence Crawford is doing makes absolutely no sense. You cannot control the promotions when you do not put up the money for the promotions. You cannot. And if you want to have an accounting of the expenditures associated with the promotion, and the entity that you are negotiating with has said that they are more than willing to provide that, there's nothing else to talk about. They will provide that to you, and then you will see all of the expenditures. And if you feel like there were expenditures that didn't make any sense, you could either bring it to the attention of that entity at that moment, or you can file a lawsuit. But sitting up and saying that I want to control the expenses associated with a promotion, a dude that has never ran a promotional entity, a dude that has never put asses in seats, what the fuck do you know about what should be spent in association with a promotion? He knows what I know about what should be spent as in terms of a promotion. Nothing. So
what's crazy is, have you ever even heard of anybody suing PBC?
No. No.
What I heard, from what, I've been watching boxing since 2000, and PBC came in around 2015. I've never really heard anybody unsatisfied with the treatment or the pay that PBC has ever given them.
Yeah, people try to make a whole lot of shit about what Deontay Wilder said, but it took months to get paid. The pay-per-view numbers take months to come in. You think record companies pay a artist money right off the bat? It takes a while for the actual record sales to get counted so that you understand what the sales were. And then once the sales come in, then you get your, 10 cent on the record or 8 cent on whatever your deal is. But you don't know that immediately. So you think the day that the Drake drops his record tomorrow, and you think 2-3 days, a week later, they know what the sales are? The fuck are you Shit makes no fucking sense at all. At fucking all. But yeah, I need to come down.
Really bad.
I need to pull me back, reel me back in, Jay. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
I got you. But for a long time, for a very, very long time, I'm not even gonna lie. This is just my theory. I don't have any facts about. I don't have any proof or facts about this. But for a long time, I actually thought Keith Thurman was holding up this fight.
I see what you're saying.
For a long time, I always thought Keith Thurman was holding up the fight for two reasons: either step aside money, or the fact that Al Heyman loves Keith Thurman.
I think Keith Thurman was for the payday. He definitely wants the payday because he's definitely on the back nine of his career for sure.
He wants the payday. I agree.
He knows fighting Boots would definitely send him to retirement. I mean, there's no question about that. I don't doubt that for a mind. Fighting Boots definitely going to send him to retirement early. Not early, but it will send him to retirement. And he's not going to get the payday that he rather have somebody like Spence send him to retirement than Boots.
Facts. Because you're going to get paid off of Spence sending you to retirement. But yeah, Carl, anything else you want to share with the people, man, before we move to the next call?
Oh no, that's it, man. Y'all be blessed. Hey, I'm a big fan of y'all podcast. I watch y'all almost every day. But yeah, man, just be blessed.
Man, appreciate you, bro, and thank you for your support,
right back
man.
at you.
All right.
All right, man. Peace. Yeah, man, that was the 804 in the building, man. Lines are back open, man. Come mess with us. We got 185 people in the building, 152 likes. If you get the opportunity, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because we got somebody else calling in. I got to make sure I get to them. We got the 216 in the building, man. Tell us where you're from and your name. You're on the Angry Man podcast.
Oh, let me cut the radio. What's going on? Hold on. Let me cut this. What's going on? It's Frank White in Cleveland.
Frank Wright, what's going on, man?
What's happening, man?
I'm telling. Hey, no, I was calling. Well, I'm gonna say two things, but the first thing I was saying that you know, Pretty Boy Floyd. You know, as good as Shakur looks amazing, like his skills. Tank, you know his power, but Tank and Ryan fight also. I'm like, damn, he got his skill, his measuring distance. He didn't got a lot better. But ain't none of them Pretty Boy Floyd, man. Pretty Boy Floyd is amazing.
Nah, he was special.
Ain't none of them Floyd, man. Stop,
man. Pretty Boy Floyd.
Like
you said, he was stopping everything, and he was punishing shit like.
Exactly.
Facts.
I see when y'all say the Chico Riley's fight. I think it was maybe one or two fights out there. And he fought what's his name, Jesus Chavez. That's when he really stood in the pocket, like, and put the, the Philly shell. Oh my God, man, he punished Chavez. And Chavez was 35. He was a good fighter, and he still he gave everything he could, but they had to throw the child in because Floyd was killing that man.
Yeah, Floyd, Pretty Boy was something you didn't want to mess with.
Facts.
He Pretty Boy was a whole different kind of animal. Like that was him. Because he had the skills and shit like Shakur, but much more athleticism, much more power, explosiveness. He was different.
Facts.
I want to talk about the Crawford. You know what kills me on YouTube? I want to do one of these boxing channels. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, like, because people will say anything on YouTube. I'm a fan of Crawford's skill set, but I'm not a fan of him and them. Like, remember when Bowman came on and said, yeah, Errol Spence living check to check.
Yeah,
I kind of felt like Bowman sold Crawford out to Bob Arum with that $3.5 million, whatever, like. And then remember when they met face to face, he was like, you just signed for $3.5. We've been getting that. Like, what are you talking about? Right. I think Bowman, first of all, managers is getting like, I didn't know. I thought it was like 10% because Al Hammond take 10 to 15%. But they getting like 30%. Like Bowman getting 20 to 30% of Crawford check. And then you get another 10% on top of that for training them. So you take it down and half the check. And I don't know if y'all know this, when Cambosos was about to fight Tiafimo, and then with the purse bid, Bob Arum said, he said, well, I don't care who I go to. I'm going to get my 20% regardless. Because Bob Arum is not putting the money up.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess ESPN is fronting the money, and Bob taking 20%. So I assume he taking 20% of all top-ranked fighters' checks because he's not putting the money up no more because they were ESPN. They putting the money up. So you got to think, like, he's losing like 20 to 30% to Bomac, then another 10%, so that's 30 to 40%. Then Bob taking 20%. And I see, well, I don't respect it, like, because jealousy is like a female trait. Like, you can really see Terence Crawford and his team is jealous of Errol Spence and them.
They should have joined the team, man. Crawford would be a way bigger star if he would. Yeah.
He's like,
Like that's what I'm about to say about when I was thinking about making a channel, like what guys on YouTube would say. I would see guys on YouTube come around and say, Errol Spence a bitch, he a hoe, he a coward. I would never say that. And I'm not like I said, I'm not a fan of Terence Crawford as a person, but I'm a fan of his skills. I would never say that because he'd beat my ass. Like, why would I say people are crazy? Why would I say something like that about a man that I know will fuck me up?
Right.
Frank, they got their ego. Their ego makes them talk shit that they ass can't cash. Every time they talk about I'm a fuck up a boxer, I'm like, they're professional at that.
Man, listen.
I told Jason Williams. I told Jason Williams because he was talking about Crawford, and I'm well aware, man. It don't matter how big those guys are. You're not gonna win throwing hands. Now, nah. I told him maybe I have a chance if I can eat a few of the punches and grab them. You know, somebody that's 135 pounds, 140 pounds. Yeah, I got a chance at 210. I got a chance. But if you just sit up there talking about throwing hands, them niggas I use it again, Jay. Those guys are going to beat the shit out of you if you sit up there and try to throw hands. You're going to get your ass
You know,
ripped.
their hands are illegal. They're illegal for a reason. They will put you in a coma. Like, the worst fighter in boxing, like, you know that the guy that's 10, 20 will fuck you up. He will fuck you up.
I agree.
Her own ass out over here. God damn. Shit, it's summertime for real in Cleveland. My fault. I got distracted.
Oh, you in Cleveland, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got I'll be in Cleveland next week.
What you got going on up here? Family or something?
Nah, I got so I do I lead supply chain finance for a Fortune 500 company, and one of my plants is in Cleveland. Well, I have 2 plants in Ohio, and I'll be in Cleveland and another area of Ohio next week.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope. And another thing I was about to say about Crawford too, like he said I'll go take care of Earl, that's his guy. But basically saying like I'll go try to rob him. Man, Al Hammond did Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Drake.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that's man, he the weird. That's what I'm saying. I like him as a fighter, but when I be hearing them talk, their whole team, they sound like a bunch of bozos. Like, I just call them a bitch or a whore, man, because I know it with my ass, but they just sound like clowns. Like, just haters. Like, what do you mean he gonna rob you? He does the biggest artists and the biggest fighters ever. Like, what the hell are you talking about? That shit, exactly. like that means it started making me think like either you're slow or you don't want to fight. But you know what I'm saying? Reading them Twitter, like I'm like maybe he ain't, you know, because he's a boxer, like you know what I'm saying, and you know, like you know the stereotype, like probably not the smartest guy in the world. Far from it, matter of fact.
Bro, anything else you want to share with the people, man, before we move to the next one? That's all I want to say. All right, man. Frank White, that's my guy, man. I remember you always in the chat section, bro. I appreciate you supporting the channel and calling in, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, later. Man, I don't know what it is about Jason Williams and feeling like, man, I'm a sucker. But I ain't no motherfucking sucker. Number one, I'm from Florida State. Number two, I'm from Orlando, Florida. Home of Mickey Mouse. You know what I'm saying? We fuck motherfuckers up. Ain't that right, Jay? You know what
That's
it
a
is.
damn phone.
Man, fuck you. We got the 802 in the building, man. What's going on with you, man? You on the Angry Man podcast with Jason and Greg. Who do we have?
You got Ronald Finkley, a.k.a. Modern King Boxing, man. I just wanted to call in, man, say I've been watching this show for like 3-4 months, man, and you guys are a breath of fresh air, man. Like I've been tuning in. I've been tuning in. Trust me.
I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I see you in the chat section. I've seen you a couple of times, man. I think in the comments section too. I don't think you agree with everything we say, man, but I'm definitely seeing you, bro. What's going on with you?
I just like that whole East Coast vibe y'all got. I'm pretty sure y'all out on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, we both from Florida, man. Yeah, born and raised.
Yeah, I like that the East Coast platforms are like catching up, and you know they kind of bringing like awareness to boxing again, man. That's what I like about it. In these channels like this, you see what I'm saying?
What part
like,
of the country you from, bro?
Yeah, I'm in Vermont.
Okay.
Oh shoot!
I used to have a homegirl up. Used to is from that area. Man, I think she was from Delaware.
Yeah, I'm right there near New York. Yeah, right there. Not far at all. Yeah, man. But yeah, to the topic, man, I like that Bruce Ennis is I saw a couple of his workouts today. You know, I wasn't impressed with his fight, you know, but that's just us. It's criticizing, you know, like I just thought he could have probably got dude out of it. I'm used to seeing him knock people out. But it's like, you know, I'm not going to say that he's like not good enough to fight Errol Spence. But I think that if Crawford don't get that fight with Earl, maybe that Spence can redeem himself with fans if he fight. If he fight, if Earl and Boots fight, that's the fight I would want to see. You see what I'm saying? Two relevant black fighters, you know, vying to be the best, and they both young and they prime kind of. So I'm hoping that that's what they do. You know, if Keith ain't available, you know, because I don't hear nothing about Keith out here. Like I haven't heard not a peep. Is he even fighting or training? I don't know. You know.
So let me go ahead and plug Lefty and Jake show 11 a.m. every Saturday. They were talking about that, man, and at this point, there's really no update in terms of who Keith Thurman is going to fight next, or really what's going on with that entire negotiations. Now, I know that there is a video that was recently posted from Errol Spence and his girlfriend that we haven't had the opportunity to watch yet, but we plan to watch afterwards. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with Keith, man. I don't want to see Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman. If that's the fight that's available, then I'll watch it, of course. But I either want to see Errol in the ring with Crawford, or I would love to see him in there with Boots, man, to make a point, like showcase, like this is who I am, like this is what I do.
Yeah.
So that would be an amazing fight as far as I'm concerned.
For sure, man. Is this Jason or is this the Greg guy?
This is Greg, man.
That's the Greg.
Hey, man.
Okay. Well, I just got to get familiar with who's who, you know.
No. It's not about you. Hey, man, listen. Everything on the channel, man, that feels good, that makes you feel good inside. It's all about Greg. And everything that makes you feel like shit when you turn off our video, it makes you feel bad inside. That's fucking Jason. That's what he does. That's what he does to me every day.
Yeah, I remember at the beginning of the show you was giving him shit, Greg.
I get it. Hey, I get this motherfucker shit. I get this motherfucker shit on camera, off camera. Every day I talk to this motherfucker, I give him shit.
That's that camaraderie right there, man. You guys are doing great, man. I just wanted to call in and touch bases on some topics. You know, I didn't see the Canelo fight, so I'm out on that. But I'm gonna definitely watch the Spence interview.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, bro.
Appreciate you guys. One.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man, Chicken Talk, man. Appreciate you, man. Oh, shit. Y'all got a super chat. Nah, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you, man, for doing that. Nah, man, Jay, I mean, I don't think people understand, man, our relationship. It goes back 20 years. I've known Jason since 1999. He wasn't shit in 99, and he ain't shit in 2023. Let's see who we got calling in.
Answer the damn phone.
Hey, we got 513 in the building, bro. You on the Angry Man podcast. Who do we have?
This Chicken Talk. What's good?
Chicken, what's going on with you, bro?
Shit, doing this goddamn bathroom I've been working on for 3 days.
Oh, shit. Damn.
You sound working like a slave in here?
I was working like a slave before I started. Man, I'm pressure washing my house. Oh, fuck, boy. I thought it's simple, but, man, that shit tedious.
Yeah, it takes all this. This is why I just usually like to pay people, get this out the way, because I'd rather be messing around on Twitter or something. But
I feel you.
Yeah, this my man Big Dose. I was listening to you earlier. You were talking about Spence. You were talking about Tank and never been in 50-50 fights. Tank was an underdog against Pedraza, and also at that time he was the youngest champion in boxing at that time. So it's not like he ain't never been out here fighting these guys. He could only fight who he had on his side to fight. There was no what's my man name? There was no Shakur at 135. 135 was light until the last 2 years or so. It was a very light division. And you look at all the young fighters on there, the Tank, the Shakur, Pitbull, Ryan, Loma, Devin, what a young fighter. All the young fighters, Tank done beat 2 of them already. You know, and then he might beat, and he got a good chance of fighting Frank Martin and beating him too. As it stands now, Tank has the best resume at 135 until May 20th. The winner of May 20th takes that crown.
I don't disagree with that. And isn't Frank Martin his mandatory for the WBA regular championship or something like that? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, because Tank got the regular belt.
Right.
So
I feel like I heard that on your show the other day.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really get into the look. You only fight mandatories. Once you get to Tank level, Canelo level, Floyd, Spence, Crawford, if you fight in the mandatories because you want to fight a mandatory. You see they ordered Crawford versus Rocha. That didn't happen, right? They ordered Tank versus Thurman. That didn't happen, right? Anybody at that level that's fighting the mandatory, they're doing it because they want to do it, not because they have to do it. They're not going to strip these guys. And my issue with the fight not happening is not so much they holding up the welterweight division. They holding up other guys who've been told they're going to fight around these dates in other divisions. They're holding up guys who said that they're going to fight on the undercard, and also other guys waiting for the fight to get done so they can get their dates. That's the problem I have with it, not necessarily the welterweight division. Because Boots can go ahead and fight Villa. Virgil is fighting Stanionis. You know, you can fight. Exactly. You can fight other guys. Don't sit around and wait.
Exactly.
You know?
Now, I don't disagree with anything you're saying, man. There's an opportunity for all those young guys to fight each other, man. And to your point, because, you know, the whole folks feel like they're going to fight on the undercard of this fight or that fight. Yeah, man. It slows down the sport, man. And, you know, I just want this fight. Either the shit or get off the fucking pot, man. I'm fucking tired of this fucking fight. Like, either you're going to do something or you're not. You know, but I'm tired of, you know, continuing to hear about the fight and who did this and who said this and who done this. And I don't care anymore, man. Just get in the ring. And I know, personally, I think it's all on Crawford. But to your point that you made the other day, Spence has some culpability just because the dude already fucked you over in 2023. You going to let him fuck you over in 2023 too? It is what it is.
Yep, I mean, it's honorable to a certain point that, yeah, you only want to fight Crawford, but now you put your career, because you remember 2 years ago, about 2 years ago, Spence and Tank were about the same level, and, you know, ticket sales, pay-per-view and all this. Yep. Tank just zoomed past him because Tank can stay active. He's fought guys that people want to see him fight. That's why his numbers are skyrocketing up. And that's why, and Spence not fighting, his numbers are stagnant. And Canelo not fighting guys who want to see him fight, his numbers are dropping. You didn't hear nobody complain about the zone not working for him last night, did you?
Say that one more time.
Huh?
Say that one more time.
Last night, did you hear anybody complain that the zone pay-per-view wasn't working last night like they did for Tank fight?
Exactly. I know exactly where you're going. Nope, you didn't hear that.
Yeah, so you know Canelo numbers have dropped dramatically. He's not doing no numbers. Because he's not fighting people that they want to see. Meanwhile, Tank is skyrocketing up because he's doing exactly that. And as far as Devin and Haney, Devin and Loma pay-per-view, ESPN, when you're on ESPN, you got to clear at least 100,000. If you can't clear at least 100,000 pay-per-views at the very bottom, you might as well just wrap it up and just never do another pay-per-view again. You got to clear at least 100,000 being on the sports station.
You think they're going to clear 100,000? You think they're going to clear 100,000?
Yeah, I think they'll clear 100,000.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to clear 100,000.
If you can't clear 100,000, you got to wrap it up, man. No more pay-per-views. Put everything on regular TV. If you got the power of the number one worldwide leader in sports, and you can't get 100,000 people to buy the fight, wrap it up.
It's a problem.
But let me ask you this. Lefty. Do you feel? I don't feel like there's much of a buzz around this fight like that, though, bro.
It's not because Loma doesn't have the passionate fan base that a Tank has. Facts. Or that Ryan Garcia had.
And he don't talk worth of shit.
Devin has a fan base per se, but it's more of a hardcore fan base.
Facts.
You know?
Yeah.
His father has done a good job of building him up, especially on these YouTube channels where everybody you can't say a bad word about Devin without somebody attacking you. He's done a very good job of building him up on these YouTube channels and getting him to the point to where, you know, he got the undisputed title, that was cool. Beat him again, that was cool. And now you go into a fight with a guy who doesn't speak English, can't really. There's no really. The people that hate Loma are also people that like Devin. You know. So there's no really competing fan bases here to get the people hyped up for the fight. Like next Saturday, I'm gonna do a breakdown of the fight. It was supposed to be today, but we had to reschedule it to next Saturday at 1 p.m. Right after the Jake and Lefty show. We're gonna do a breakdown of Loma versus Haney. I'm excited for the fight.
I am too, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all break down on the fight, man. That's gonna be interesting.
I hate your
to see
take,
how you guys.
I hate your take, but I understand.
Hey, I'm just trying to say, look. I tell everybody, root for Devin, but don't bet on him because this is gonna be this is gonna get ugly for Devin. It's gonna get ugly real quick.
We shall see. I still got Devin. I told you. I said I was gonna figure out a reason to get back right with Devin. I'm right back with him. I see everything you're saying. It makes perfect sense. But
you said you felt he's got better since the JoJo fight, right?
I feel like he has, absolutely.
Okay. Has he gotten better, or has he fought a guy that struggled with Selby and Mickey Bay coming off for 2 years later?
I don't know yet. I knew you were going there. I don't know yet. Man, stop coming over with that bad fucking vibe, that bad juju. I don't want to hear that right now. God damn it.
It was the same thing when people talking about AJ. He got better after he beat Ruiz the second time. Then he beat Pulev. No, he didn't get better. He just fought Pulev. That's why he got in there with Usyk and got schooled. It's not that. I don't see no improvement in the guy. To be honest with you, the defense still leaky. Punch technique still get lazy during later in the fight. He's just like Canelo at 135. He's going gas, and he's with a boy that doesn't gas. He turns it up.
I was sitting there thinking about the exact same thing that you said when I was making that statement, because I don't know if it's that I want him to beat Lomachenko and that I am seeing what I want to see and saying that he's better, or is he actually better? I honestly
it's not
don't
only
know.
is he not better, he's not that good. We gotta wake up and stop letting Bill Haney been out here brainwashed everybody. He's just not that good of a fighter. You've never seen a Devin Haney fight where you came in and be like, wow, he just schooled that guy. You see, okay, he had a good performance and he got past him. You've never seen a Devin Haney fight where you came away impressed. Anybody say that is lying.
Jay.
You go all the way back to all his fights. Like I was telling Rito yesterday, all the Devin Haney fights look like AJ versus Franklin, where it was a clear but unimpressive win. Every single Devin Haney fight is a clear and unimpressive win. You have to be a dynamic fighter to beat Lomachenko, like Tio was. Speed, power, fast on his feet, mainly power. Good combination together, pivot with it. You have to be very dynamic to beat Lomachenko. And Devin is not dynamic. I don't understand what people are saying. You see the guy that he can't punch to keep nobody off of him. That overhand right hand that he's got, that he has to utilize for a softball, looks like it's like you can tell he done had soldier surgery. You can tell he ain't even hurt nobody since he had to, let alone knock nobody down. Since he had the shoulder surgery, he ain't even hurt nobody. Has he pitched somebody to hurt him yet? Since he had
That's you wrong, man. He dirty.
Bro, Jay, you remember prior to the Camboso fight, Jay, you remember I was telling you what was I saying about Haney before the Cambosos fight?
You ain't trust him.
Exactly. I was saying that, man, it's just something missing with this kid. There's something missing with him. And when he beat Camboso, man, I was just like, man, I like what he did in terms of going over there, man, and taking on a challenge. And I got on the bandwagon, man, but you basically saying everything that I described in terms of Devin Haney prior to him beating Cambosos. But, man, I can't jump off the bandwagon yet. I got to stay on, man, until that motherfucker burn up.
Yeah, exactly. You know, special. You know what Devin has? What's special about Devin? Being able to cut his big ass to 135. That's about it. And them days is coming to an end. And it's coming to an end May 20th. He ain't gonna never want to be 135 again after this.
Oh,
and then when
man.
you get to 140, when them boys just as strong, just as long, it's a wrap. I mean, he has a nice run, but it's a wrap after this.
Yeah, no, I agree. At 140, I don't know what Devin going to do at 140.
I'm not sure either.
140 is, I think it's a bad look for him at 140 because of his lack of punching power. Now with Loma's older. I know Ortiz is a different type of fighter than Dev is, but I don't know if Loma's still
Man, I went back and watched that Ortiz fight, man, bro. That fight was not as bad as people were saying it was. Ortiz was giving it a go. He was a game fighter, throwing punches, but he wasn't scoring nothing landing. Loma was still easily able to evade him and counter him. Ortiz was in trouble more times than Loma was. Hey, Ortiz is just game. That's all it was. He was game. He was in there busy. He was throwing a lot of punches, which Devin doesn't do. Devin tries to pot shot you. Leave that little jab out there to try to measure you with that little jab. And come with that right hand. That's not gonna work against Loma. You gotta be way more dynamic. And he'll catch you with that uppercut if you come in slipping, but it ain't gonna hurt you. You know.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, because Ortiz did damage Loma's face up. He had Loma.
No, that was from the glove. That was from the tape. That was from the tape. If you look at it in the second round, his tape around his gloves scratched Loma's eye. That wasn't from no punch. That was from the tape. I can see the video of it. It wasn't from no. That wasn't from a punch. His glove, the tape that goes around the bottom of the glove around the wrist, it caught Loma in the eye. That's what that was from.
Gotcha.
Damn it, Lefty, I hate you.
I'm just telling you, I'm trying to save everybody some money. Save that money or bet it on Loma and send some super chats. Everybody keeps saying 7-5 Loma, bro. If it's 7-5 Loma, it's 8-4 Devin. I mean, everybody keeps saying 7-5 Devin, but if it's 7-5 Devin, it's 8-4 Loma in reality.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
You can't run this fight close.
Devin has to win. No, he can't. He has to win this convincingly.
And he can't. You need 7 strong, good, clear rounds. That's what Devin needs, and he doesn't have that in him. He doesn't have 7 strong, clean, clear rounds in him.
One day I'll say, man.
Saying bet on Loma.
Yes. But stop it if you want to make some real money.
I'm excited about seeing the fight now, man, even more with your predictions. So we'll see what ends up happening. Chicken, anything else you want to share with the people, bro?
No, just once again, next Saturday, after the Jake and Lefty show, we are going to go live and break this fight down. We're supposed to do it this Sunday, but we had a little issues, so we got to do it next Saturday.
Gotcha. All right, man. Sounds good, man. You know we're going to be in attendance, man. We in attendance every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Jake and Lefty show, man. Some of the best content you're going to find relative to boxing on Twitter and YouTube. Man, appreciate you, Chicken. Man, one thing I want to do, man, is dang, man, the phone line's on fire right now, bro. I think this is the last one we're gonna take, Jason, because we got to make that transition to the Mic Chat podcast. We got the 609 in the building, man. Who do we have on the line?
No, you know who it is. The man.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Terrence is in the building.
Listen, man, I've just been listening to some of this nonsense real quick. First of all, your last caller, that's nonsense, bro. What's going on in boxing is they're acting as though there hasn't been great fighters that didn't have power. It's almost that we want to eliminate fighters nowadays that don't have great power. Yes, so what? Devin doesn't have great power, but he's going to box the shit out of Loma and win the fight easily. So I mean, look at Willie Pep. It's like fighters there was lots of fighters in the past that didn't have great power that were champions. I mean, it's like, I don't know what's going on, but if you don't have power now, you're less of a fighter. I mean, I thought it was about the sweet science. Now it's nothing. All it's about is how much power you got, which, by the way, is natural. So maybe what they want now is just natural fighters in bars with power to knock each other out. I don't know. I guess that's where we're going in boxing nowadays, because all I hear about is power. So that's the first thing I wanted to say about the last caller, Chicken Talk. You're going to watch that. You're going to see that the lack of power doesn't have anything to do with Haney beating this guy, because he's going to, box circles around Loma.
I got Haney winning, so I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the first thing that I want to address that guy. The guy earlier that was talking, about Bud. I mean, why is this guy talking, man? I mean, he said something about, he fought a cab driver or whatever. Well, problem was...
I would say he fought several, but go ahead.
Bud could have fought these guys, and he tried to fight these guys. He sent a contract to Thurman. Nobody wants to bring that up. sent the contract to Thurman, and Thurman wanted $10 million. And yet he never got anywhere near $10 million with the PBC. He sent the contract to Danny. Danny got the contract. Father said he'll get back to Bud and his team. He never got back to Bud and his team. And by the way, Danny Garcia, when he ducked Victor Postol. So the couple guys that Bud didn't fight in the PBC, they didn't want to fight Bud. I mean, how can y'all keep blaming Bud's resume when these guys were offered the opportunity to fight Bud Crawford and they refused? And then he brought up, Bud said something about, I'm frustrated. He didn't want the fight or whatever. The fight's past him. Why don't you, Errol Spence fans who get on the line, be honest and tell the whole truth? Y'all know that each and every time that he said that is because he was frustrated. Remember that the press conference where Errol Spence was on the podium? I'm sorry?
Terence, real quickly, how many times he gonna say it before you believe him? You think he's just saying it because he's frustrated, or is it because he believes it?
He don't. It was because it was always in response to something, something Errol had did. Like Errol's saying 60-40. That's when he got into dispute about that. There was no reason for him to say anything about percentages. But he knew he wasn't fighting Crawford anytime soon. So why even bring up 60-40? And they got into it, and after a while, he got so frustrated with him continuously saying 60-40. He said that he didn't want to fight, right? And then he said it again. Remember at the podium when Errol was asked about Terence Crawford, and he said, "Well, why did he come to my fight for?" He said he didn't want to fight me. So then again, he said, "Oh well." Once he said that, then he said it again. Oh man, the fight's past me. I don't need him for my resume. So all of this, every time Bud Crawford said that, it was in frustration for him not wanting to fight. This man never wanted to. Listen, in the beginning, he told you, "I'm going the easy route." I don't care if y'all keep rewriting history, saying he was talking about he wanted to do PBC fighters first, even though he never said that when Jeff Horn said he wanted to fight, he said, "Let's fight." He didn't say nothing about no easy road when it came to Jeff Horn. But again, y'all rewrite history and say he was talking about specifically that he wanted to fight the easy fighters in the PBC first, which I don't believe. But again, he was the initial reason why this fight took so long. Remember, the fight couldn't have took place until April of last year because that's the road he took, and you guys were okay with it. So now everybody's upset and mad about this fight not happening and blaming Bud Crawford when it's never, absolutely never done anything wrong. You say he's negotiating. You know why he's negotiated with Black Prime? Because he saw the writing on the wall. Look, Errol Spence hasn't fought yet. So if Bud was sitting there waiting for the PBC, even after Mayweather said the fight wasn't happening, guess who wouldn't be fighting right now? And guess who would have been fighting Rocha anyway? That would be Bud Crawford, because nothing would have happened. This man has still not fought, and we're going into June. So I think Bud obviously did the right thing by taking a fight because there was no other fights. Again, he offered Errol. I mean, what's your man? Y'all keep Boots. They offered him a fight. That man said he can't take the fight because he's got to talk to Showtime. Are you serious? He's not on any negotiations. On the contract with Showtime. Oh, he doesn't want to upset them. Well, guess what? If Espinoza found out that was the case and he wanted to fight Boots, why wouldn't he go to Espinoza and say, you know what? Let's make the fight with Terence Crawford on Showtime. You're my promotional company. I didn't see them offer that. I didn't see that as an offer.
Can I address a couple of the points that you made? Go ahead, Jay.
I got a real quick question for you, Terence. Now, you talked about Thurman and Garcia. You basically said they priced themselves out, right? In so many words.
No. Danny never got back to Bud. Thurman priced himself out.
Okay, so what the hell you think Bud did with Spence?
But Jason, how many times they never? y'all keep saying he offered her a contract. Listen to the IG. Bud said he initially says a contract. He says it really wasn't a contract. Y'all keep forgetting that part. It wasn't a contract. Because the issue was, there was two issues, Jason. The one issue was he wanted to fight that year. And then the other issue was he agreed to the 65-35 split. However, he needed to protect that 35%. So they never, what did Espinosa say? He said there was things that were not addressed, and that's why they never addressed Bud Crawford. So when Bud Crawford said, listen, I want to be able to damn sure make sure those expenses aren't going crazy. I want to be able to, that's right, approve certain expenses. Yes, he did do that. And I think he had every right to do it. You're not going to give me 35% of what? After you have all sorts of crazy expenses in there and my 35% turns into 10%? Come on, man. He's doing the right thing. Y'all know he did the right thing. But he never wanted to fight because he wasn't training, and Mayweather said there was no fight.
So
and he said that October.
Can I address a few of the things that you said?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay. So I will give you grace in terms of what you said about Terence Crawford and the reason why he said that he didn't want to fight, because it was in response to Errol Spence saying, why is he at the fight? But I will also add on top of that Errol Spence comment was on top of the comment that he made prior to that, which was Errol basically saying, I don't know why he's at the fight, because he said that he didn't even want to fight or something to that effect. So why is he here at my fight? So let's not have revisionist history. His response after Errol said what he said at the post-press conference for, I think that was the Porter fight, was in response to another comment that Terence Crawford made. Let's not forget that, right? So that's number one.
Right, Greg.
Okay, so that's number one. That's number
you're
one.
Right, Greg. But however, Greg, that initial comment that was already in response to something Errol had said. That's what I'm saying. Errol's behavior that started the whole thing. Is all I'm saying.
I disagree. But let me go on to the next topic.
Okay.
So you mentioned something about Jaron Ennis and the fact that Jaron Ennis didn't want to fight. We know that BLK Prime was basically trying to make a fight on their own behalf because they wanted to be in the business of Terence Crawford. And they were trying to figure out a way that they can actually keep their boxing, I guess, segment arm of BLK Prime alive. So they reached out to Jaron Ennis. Basically, based off of what was said from Steven Espinosa, it sounded like Espinosa got on the phone and recognized and realized that these guys had absolutely no dealings with Terence Crawford. So why the fuck do I need to be on the phone with them? So you're trying to make it seem like Terence Crawford was pushing for that fight. And we all know in reality that wasn't the case, bro. So that wasn't the case.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that wasn't the case. And so then thirdly, what was the last thing? So you started talking about him having the ability to protect this 35%. Let me ask you this.
Right.
Terence, do you own a home?
Yes.
Okay, you own a home. Would you let an electrician come into your house to wire your, let's say your basement wasn't finished. Would you allow somebody to come into your house and wire your home for all the electrical components in your basement who wasn't a licensed electrician? Yes or no?
No.
So why the fuck would you have Terence Crawford controlling the expenses for a promotional company and he ain't got no fucking experience doing that shit? What the fuck?
Look, I'm like, Greg, okay, let me go back to, I'm going to answer that one. And the second one is, first of all, you just said something about I forgot. What would you say? What's your second point? And I had something to say there. But let me go with this one. This electrical situation, of course you're not going to let, but is that electrician, in this example, 50% of the house ownership? He's no bearing. I could get any electrician to do that work. Can you get any fighter? Can you get any fighter to plug in what Bud Crawford does in this fight? You can't take a random fighter and put him in Bud Crawford and get over $100 million. That's the difference. I can go and get an electrician anywhere. So you gotta, if this man is $100 million man to making all of this money y'all gonna make, you gotta give him. You gotta oblige that and be willing to work with him. Is all I'm saying. I ain't gotta work with that electrician.
Hold on, Terrence. Yeah. They're giving him the electrical. You're giving him what the electrician should be making. I'm paying you what you should be making. Period. End of story. So if you're an electrician and you're coming into the house and you're saying, "Hey, I want you to just pay me. I'm an electrician. I'm changing the scenario now. I'm an electrician. I'm coming into the house and I don't want you to just pay me. I also want you to how do I spin this scenario where it's I want to be able to control what components that you buy because hey, at the end I give you an example. So when I did my basement, I bought all of the materials. If the electrician comes in and I'm electrician, I'm telling you, all I want you to do is come in and give me your labor. You're giving me your labor. That's it. The electrician comes in and says, no. I want to see all expenses associated with it because at the end of the day, I want to be paid a certain amount. And I'm like, no, you're worth this. This is what electricians make. So I'm paying you what an electrician should make. You don't tell me what else I do in my house. Period. You're just a fucking electrician. Now, hold on. Let me finish. Yeah, now, what Terence Crawford is saying is that, hey, I'm not only an electrician. I want to be able to dictate what you do in your home associated with this entire project. Greg, I'm throw this number. You got a $50,000 budget. I'm just the electrician. I'm just a cog in the wheel. But I want to come in and control your entire budget for your basement. Terrence, if your electrician came in and told you, I want to control the entire budget for your basement, you would tell that nigga to go kick fucking rocks. You are the labor. You don't. Now, if your hold on, Jason, hold up, Terrence. If your electrician was coming in and saying, well, hey, I'm gonna put up $25,000 into your budget, and I want to have the ability to control what's being spent, I would say, and I think you would spend. Hell yeah, go ahead. You have because you're a part of this whole project and you're going into this as an investment and you're trying to protect what you're getting out. So you're investing in my basement. But if you're just coming in as a service worker and you're telling me that, hey, I want to control your budget for your fucking basement and you ain't putting no money into it, man, kick rocks. What the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, but Greg, that's the point. When that electrician comes in, he getting guaranteed money. He don't give a damn about your expenses. When that electrician comes in, you're paid. He's gonna say, "Here's my bill. This is what I want. I'm getting guaranteed money." So at that point,
he's getting
just
what
like
he's
Bud
worth.
Crawford, if you give the man guaranteed money, we ain't got to talk about all of this nonsense. But you're not giving the electrician in this case guaranteed money. So you're telling the electrician, "Oh, we're going to give you 35%." That electrician's gonna say what? 35% of what? Or what? Or what salary? He's gonna say the same thing with Crawford. He's gonna say, "Listen, I gotta protect my 35% of what." You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. Greg is used
two things.
Yeah.
Two things. Number one, 35%. He's getting 35% of what? Number one, if I'm not mistaken, there was a guarantee. Terence Crawford didn't like the guarantee number. So they changed the negotiation to be no guarantee in a bigger back end. So that's number one.
Greg,
hold on, let me finish. Then number two, he's getting what he's worth. What Terence Crawford is doing is trying to get above what he's worth. My electrician is getting what the market say he's worth. And what Terence Crawford is worth is the 35% or whatever the fuck they sell. Because whatever they sell is based off what he brings to the fucking table, period. So he's getting what the fuck he's worth. Period.
But that would be, Greg, that would be gross. Y'all ain't going to give him the gross. He'll be fine if you gave him the gross. You're saying net, though. You're not going to give him 35%.
Yeah, gross. He's getting net right? Because somebody else is putting up the money. How the fuck you get gross? Saying. What the fuck?
But Greg, he's got to protect that 35. How else is he going to do it? Why not give him guaranteed money, Greg?
He should have took the first guarantee.
Exactly.
That's a fairy tale. Y'all keep saying that. There's no. He said in that IG live they never offered me guaranteed money. So y'all calling the man a liar? That's what he said in the live.
Yes.
He said he never was.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm calling him a liar. Let's kill that noise. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all love calling that man a liar. I hear it all the time. See, y'all always gonna look negatively at anything he says, but I know the man's not lying. That man had $50 million. He was bringing to the table, and PBC and Showtime saying they don't want to they don't want to give him a $15 million guarantee. Come on, man. He had $50 million, 25 for him, 25 for Errol. Come on. If Errol wanted the most money he ever made in his life, take the money plus the 80-20 back in.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Mayweather's still waiting for his back end money. You read that article? He still ain't got his back end. Did Logan Paul get his money yet? Come on, man.
Let me ask you. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
As a manager, any kind of manager, or your lawyer or your accountant, don't they have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that you're in the best position possible? Your lawyer can't take you to court, okay. So as a manager, Al Heyman has a fiduciary responsibility to Errol Spence to make sure that he's in the best position. Period. Fiduciary responsibility as his manager. Okay, so if Al Heyman believed that offer was real, then he would be grossly negligent in terms of his fiduciary responsibility to Errol Spence, which tells me that the offer was not fucking real.
No, not if he thinks he can make more money, which he could.
So either Al Heyman thinks that he can make more money without that deal. And because Al Heyman's money, how he gets paid is based off what Errol Spence makes. So either he believes that he can make more money without that, or the deal was fucking fake. One or the other. But you can't stop talking. You gotta stop talking about $50 million, bro.
He can make more money, but remember what he said. He said he can make 6 figures with him, and he wanted that fight with Thurman. That's what Al Heyman, he wanted Errol to fight Thurman. And Errol don't want to fight Thurman. That's why he's turning down Bud in the 20.
Why would he want that?
That's why he didn't want to make he didn't want to make the fight.
Man, Terrence, hold on. Terrence, you're telling me that Al Heyman, as a human, he is forgetting the basic human nature, which is self-preservation. He is throwing that out the fucking window, right? Which the self-preservation is the opportunity to make the most money he can for himself. He's going to choose to take Keith Thurman versus Terence Crawford when Terence Crawford is going to make more money for himself, Al Heyman. Why the fuck would he do that?
Because maybe he could get that money for that fight and then fight Bud the next fight. Because what if he fights Bud the first fight, Bud's gonna knock him out, and that might be it. This man might not want to fight no more. That's what I'm pretty sure he knows. Earl's not even gonna want a rematch. His Bud gonna beat him so bad. That's it. He gonna retire. Now he might not even make that money fighting Charlo. I'm telling you, man. They know how good Bud is. They know there's no chance he beating Errol beating Bud. He's smart enough to know that. Come on,
Terrence. Let me ask you a question. If he had the $50 million in October last year, where is it at now?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Why Bud not gonna revisit that?
Revisit that because look how they offered. They wouldn't even talk to him about the money. Jay, why do that again? Because they turned it down. They wouldn't even call it. They wouldn't even call the people to see if it's true or not.
But Jay, let me ask you this: if that's Al Heyman's position that he wants him to fight Keith Thurman instead of Terence Crawford, then why aren't they fighting Keith Thurman now? Why are they back talking to Terence Crawford?
Errol don't want it because Errol don't want to fight Thurman. He knows. See, I was waiting for him to try to fight Thurman because I was going to blast him. I was going to keep going on every time saying, "Look, this guy's a liar." Now we know he's a liar. He knows Errol knows what's going to happen if he fights Thurman. So he knows better. He knows better not to fight Thurman.
So he knows what's going to happen if he fight Thurman.
Everybody going to call him a liar and a duck.
Okay. So your whole position is that Al Heyman is stopping the fight. That's your position.
That's what stopped it so far. Him and Mayweather trying to protect their investments. Now, investments. That's the only thing. They keep trying to protect their investment. Their investment is Errol Spence.
How did Ryan Garcia? How did Ryan Garcia take? How did Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis happen then? How did Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis happen?
Ryan and Garcia, well, they feel as though Tank could beat him, and everybody know that Tank could beat Ryan.
No, I'm talking about on Golden Boy. I'm talking about on Golden Boy. No, I'm talking about on Golden Boy's end. If you're so concerned about your fighter losing, and Oscar De La Hoya is on record as saying that he doesn't believe his fighter can actually beat Tank Davis, how did that fight happen? If the fighter wants it, the fight happens. So this is not an Al Heyman thing. The fighter wants it in Errol Spence, which you've already admitted. So clearly, it's on the other side.
I said Errol don't want to fight Thurman.
So he's trying. Okay, so he's trying to fight
Bud Crawford.
You just said it was Al Heyman. Now it's Al and Spence.
Oh Lord.
No, I said Spence doesn't want to fight Thurman. That's what I said, and I said he doesn't necessarily want to fight Bud Crawford either. He don't want to fight really either one of them.
He wants to fight.
I don't know what he's going to do. Who's he going to fight? He got to fight somebody. It's almost a year and a half. He's got to fight somebody. What is he going to try to fight Charlo to get all three of the belts? That's the only other fight I can think of him trying to make at this point. He has to fight Bud or he has to fight Charlo, right? That's it. There's nobody else for him to fight.
Well, hey man,
he's up against the wall.
Terrence, we had a 225 mark, man. I always appreciate you coming in, man, and giving your perspective, bro. Anything else you want to share?
Nah, that's all I got, man. Just tune in, watch Devin do his thing, and then we'll see what Tank does. Tank ducks, which I think he's gonna do, but we'll see. All right, man. Thanks for having me on. You have a good day.
Oh man, always, man. Appreciate you for calling in, bro.
And the body work you get every week.
Yeah, okay.
All right, man. Later. Hey, man, that was Terrence, man, from what's his channel called again?
Best Videos.
Yeah, Best Videos. I think I really feel like I walked him in like 3 or 4 traps, man, and he just I don't even think he realized he was trapped. But yeah, bro. So, man, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. The phone lines are closed right now, man. We at the 226 mark, man. I want to say I appreciate everybody that called in and everybody that gave to the channel in the chat, man. You guys are much appreciated. We do this every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media. If you haven't had the opportunity, please hit the like button. Salute to Brian S., Brendan McDonald's, Jason Williams, Benai Wright, man, there's so many people, man. Tunnel Vision, Don Jenkins, Chicken Tall, the Mike Chat Podcast. We about to go live with the Mike Chat Podcast right now, following this show, man. So come on over to the Mike Chat Podcast and tune in. We're gonna go live over there, man, for a quick panel discussion. I don't know, did T Ward drop the link in the chat?
I didn't see it. He might have dropped it to. It may send us a different message.
All right. Well, anyway, guys.
Modern King Boxing as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Modern King Boxing. Thank you, guys. Jason Williams. His name is Bob Arum. Bob Arum. I got it now, guys. Stop fucking with me about that shit. But anyway, man, we about to go live with the Mike Chat Podcast. You guys check us over there, man. It's AM Sports Media. Hit the like button, man. Contribute to the channel as much as you possibly can. We will be back next week. For a live show. We'll also be dropping live content tomorrow. We're going to check out that Errol Spence video that he did with his girlfriend. I'm pretty sure that there's probably some content out of that we're going to give our opinion on. So stay tuned from that. Oh, the Boxing Source is in the building. Make sure you guys go over there and check him out as well, man. JR is in the building. But yeah, guys, we transition to the Mike Chat Podcast, so check us out over there. Appreciate you guys, man. Peace.
Peace.
Damn, boy, we the shit.